What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to SpawnCast episode 96. There's actually a lot of stuff that happened this past week, so there's a lot to go over, and we're going to try to fit it all into 2 hours for you. And we actually have quite a packed panel here. And Sean's actually not feeling well tonight, so he's actually sitting in this one out. But we have a bunch of other people to fill in, actually. Let me start with the guests. Rax is with us tonight. Rax is making his return to the SpawnCast. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me again.
Yep, and you just put out a video about snowboarding games, right?
Yeah, I love snowboarding, man.
Was 1080 in there?
1080 was the first one I talked about.
All right, cool.
Gotta have 1080.
GameCube or N64?
Actually, both.
Okay.
That Avalanche and 1080 regular in there.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. That's I would watch that video and it'd make me nostalgic because like I'm sure SSX is in there and
Absolutely
all the good games before EA turned into. Well, they're EA now. So let me go over here to Joey. Joey's joining us tonight because you actually got a chance to spend some hands-on time with Rage 2, right?
That is correct, and I'm looking forward to talking about it.
Cool. All right, yeah. Max actually played Rage 2 as well at an event, so you guys both actually played it. And
you probably played the newer demo. We'll compare notes.
Yes, I did play the newer demo, so it's going to be fun.
Cool. And then we have Jordan. Jordan's joining us, stepping away from his big project that I'm sure he's working on right now.
I'm very excited about it. I got some cool developments, but maybe I'll talk about it later, maybe not. Okay. But yeah, glad to be on. Thanks for having me.
Cool. All right. Very good. Very good. Then you just heard Evan. Evan's with us tonight, curing the chat. Have some questions coming in from the Discord and everything. So and I actually wanted to talk to you a bit about some PC related stuff because I know you're mostly PC first and then console by accident. So we'll talk a bit about the Metro, and you're actually a big Metro fan too. The Metro.
Yeah, that news all pissed me off. But yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I want to see your take on that. That'll be good. And then Nate's with us, of course. No webcam, Nate. Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
And then OJ, last here on my screen. How's it going, OJ?
What's up, guys? Good to be here again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what's everyone been playing? We can start with, I guess we can start with that because there's a lot of games that came out. I've been between like 5 games this week, back and forth between all of them. I've been all over the place. Did some Kingdom Hearts, did some Dragon Mark for Death, did a little Ace Combat. But what's everyone else been up to? Oh, Wargroove came out too.
Yeah, I beat Wargroove and I'm about 80% through Kingdom Hearts 3.
Is the campaign for Wargroove like, I know everyone's getting it because of the multiplayer, but is the campaign actually like lengthy?
It's decent. It's pretty short. It's probably 25 missions, I think.
I started playing it and it felt like it was something that like people could make in the custom editor. Yes,
it's definitely a toolkit first and foremost. There were a bunch of side quests. I did a couple of them. There's a bunch more though. It seems like there's probably like 50% as many side quests as there is main quests. The coolest thing about the main campaign though is the difficulty options. You can like turn up damage or turn down damage to make it where you are stronger or weaker. You can turn up the amount of money you earn per turn or turn it down. So it seems like the campaign really just exists for trying strategies out and then going online.
I played it. It feels like Advanced Wars, and that's not an issue. I like that because I want another Advanced Wars. Nintendo's not giving me another Advanced Wars, so I'm getting another Advanced Wars from Wargroove. I don't even think it's expensive. It's like $20, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So I played on an Xbox. I'm gonna buy it on a Switch. I gotta say, don't get it on Xbox. It's not supposed to be played on a big screen. I played it on a 50-inch. Don't do it. It looks weird because they strongly lean into the Game Boy Advance style. It does not look good.
It has like that kind of that hard pixelized look, right? Where like they don't even smooth them out really. But I have to at least tell you, Max, it runs great on the Switch, and I think that's where a lot of people are probably going to be playing it. Yeah, really. I'm looking at this. It plays fine. It looks good on the Switch. I mean, it's going to look better on a smaller. I played it on my monitor here, and it looks fine on that too. But I think if I blew it up to a 50+ inch screen, I think I get what you're saying. You would start to see the pixel edges of pixels, basically. If that makes sense, you know.
Yeah, you see it a lot in the font. The font looks weird blown up. But I'm definitely gonna buy it again. I beat it on Xbox. And it's fine, but I really want to have it on Switch so that way I can now have a chance to actually go online and lose a bunch because I suck at it.
Dude, it's like the crazy thing is though, did anyone else play Wargroove actually before I keep going on about it?
I played it. I played it for a bit today. I bought it this morning because I was playing Dragon Mark for Death, finished up my video on that, still playing through that game some more, and then I played Wargroove for about maybe 2-3 hours today, just on and off, kind of just I was doing housework and stuff like that. And man, it's pretty cool. Like I really like it. I'm not the biggest on Advance Wars, so I was kind of like skeptical at first, but after kind of just seeing everybody was talking about it, they're going to be adding new DLC and new content. I was like, you know what, whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and give it a try. And I had a review code sitting in my box and I didn't even know.
Supporting the developers, man.
Yeah. Well, I was going to buy, I buy the indie games anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I buy them anyway. So, yeah, it's great though. It's great so far. And I'm thinking that like going forward in the future, intelligent systems can learn a couple things. You know what I'm saying? For like an Advanced Wars, like they can maybe learn a thing or two here or there. So, especially with the online options. So.
Yeah, it's really cool. If you go online, it's like Advanced Wars mixed with Mario Maker. Because you can just make whatever you want, and you can actually make cutscenes too, which is crazy. Like people spend time making cutscenes, and you put them up online, and people can download them and play them on their system. It's really cool.
One of the coolest things is, and I just want to say this real fast, is there's asynchronous multiplayer if you want, where you can treat it like a chess app on your cell phone. So what I could do is I could literally get it on Switch and I could play a couple turns with SpawnWave. And if we start having to edit a video or something, you just leave the match. It still exists. So he'll play his turn, and whenever I want, I can come back and play my turn. So I could theoretically fight everybody on the SpawnCast like simultaneously, and I'd lose all the matches because I'm terrible at it, but it'd be cool.
That's so funny because I remember Nintendo wanted to do that like with Miiverse and never was able to implement that, and like they got that inside this game, so that's actually pretty cool.
And it has it has crossplay day one too.
And with everything but PS4. When the PS4 version comes out, you can't play with anything.
That's the interesting thing. That's the interesting thing because I guess PlayStation wasn't part of the crossplay. They have to like wait for the game to get on their system. They like seem to emphasize Xbox, Switch, and PC like first.
Was that the reason why?
I have to imagine. I mean, I really couldn't think of any other reason that would be on every other system, and all of them have crossplay except for PlayStation. Like, it seems weird. It
was interesting. Yeah, I was talking with David Jaffe with that last night on his stream. He was he was playing Wargroove, and he was like, "Yeah, why is it not on PS4?" And I was like, "I don't know, man." Like he was thinking, "Is there some type of deal?" I'm like, "Dude, I have no idea why." I mean, they just said soon because he was just playing the game. We were talking about it on his stream last night. So interesting.
I have to imagine that's why, because the PlayStation 4 has the install base. Everybody goes to PlayStation 4 almost first. I don't know why Wargroove wouldn't be there, at least at the same time. But, I mean, I look at it as an indie studio trying to put out a game on as many platforms as they can, and I guess they wanted crossplay. So the PS4, which I guess the PS4 probably won't be that far behind. I'm thinking like a few weeks or something.
Yeah, I guarantee you 2 weeks max.
They basically get another release out of it. If you think about it, it'll come out on the PS4, and then the PS4 people will see it and want to buy it. So I think it's cool though. It's a cool game. So I'm liking it.
I think it's already like number 1 or number 2 on the eShop. I know it's already all the way up there on the eShop, so people are picking it up even at 20.
I think it's completely worth it at $20. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. By far. What else everyone been playing?
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Same.
Right. So tell me about Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm about 2 hours in on the Xbox One X. So I will say initial impressions of the visuals, it looks amazing. I want to get to the Toy Story world because I want to see how it looks there. But good. So far in the beginning, where you're obviously in the kind of the Hercules world or that IP, it looks very, very good. So let me hear about Kingdom Hearts. And even if you try to spoil the story, don't worry. I have no idea what's going on.
Me either. Oh my god! Like
also, all I know is I press A and things blow up in front of me. So
that's the way I'm playing it because I'm playing this game just because everyone else is. I mean, I didn't spend money on it. I just rented it at Redbox, so I technically did spend money on it. But still, I was. but I'm not. I didn't spend $60 on it. I just wanted to experience the game. I'm skipping all the cutscenes. Not skipping it. I'm just barely paying attention to it. I mean, I get the basic idea of what's going on, except I don't. I don't know. Watching that recap video did not help at all. I've watched all kinds. Still don't know. Yeah. All I know is all I know is the combat's fun, and it can be a little too easy. But as somebody who likes going to Weenie Hut Juniors, it's fine by me. Like I just like having fun playing that game.
I think this is the combat's the best and most polished it's ever been. Like the way that you can, like, it's always throwing something unique and fun at you, whether it's, hitting enough so you can do something cool with whatever Keyblade you have, to getting a cool power up, to doing a team power up, to using your magic. It's just constantly doing something visually cool. And then even if you lose or you somehow die and you have to go back and fight, it doesn't feel like this game sucks. Like, it's too hard. It's Dark Souls. It's like, okay, that was fun. I think if I, did something a little different, tried stacking these a little better, and it's way more. It's so much fun. Like, I don't remember having this much fun with a Kingdom Hearts game in a long time. Like, this is amazing.
I like 2, but I didn't really play any of the real spinoffs or anything. But 2 was pretty cool, and this feels like 2 was really fast compared to the first one. This one feels even faster.
Oh, it's so fast.
Yeah, it's really cool. I like so far what I'm seeing, but I need to get to some of the other worlds. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to Toy Story, because from the visuals they showed, it looked like they were really close to what the movie looked like back then.
I think I'm in the 3rd or 4th world now. I just got to the Frozen world, and then next I'm doing Monsters Inc. But the Toy Story world, perfection. That whole thing.
That's one of the first ones.
You can go to it right after Hercules, Hercules World, or the game might take you to Tangled, which it did for me. Like, I could have gone to the other one, but the game said no, you should go here instead. But you could go to it right away. It's an incredible level. Really, really cool stuff in that one.
Did you see it? The fake Final Fantasy game that's inside the
versus world.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I love it.
And I like all the Cydia stuff in the toy store. Like, it's cool.
Really,
yeah,
it's cool.
Dude, the conspiracy, like the Final Fantasy scene, is making so many conspiracy theories about that right now. They think that it's Nomura hinting about how they pulled him off of Final Fantasy 15 before it was done, and it's basically his idea of what 13 was supposed to be.
It looked like Versus.
It does look like 13 versus, well, especially because it looks like they reused the original character models for Prompto in it. It looks like they used the original Gladiolus model. It's like, this is a little bit weird.
That's pretty funny.
It definitely tripped me out when when you're opening that level and it's like, wait, what game do I have in right now? I thought I was playing Kingdom Hearts.
It's gonna be interesting. I wonder if they'll do something like that in Final Fantasy VII Remake also. Maybe they'll just be like an Easter egg they start hiding in all of their games.
Right.
With 13.
I'm worried. I'm so worried about 7 now, man. I'm so worried.
Yeah. Really? I mean, if it moved to Unreal Engine and everything, they seem to do a really good job with Kingdom Hearts with it.
I know, but I'm still, just the fact that we haven't seen it in so long, and they keep having these big investor calls every once in a while, and every time they say the exact same words, which is progress is going very smoothly.
I'm gonna be honest. I think they Metroid Prime 4'd that thing.
They did.
Multiple times. At least twice.
Yeah, I think that they got Metroid Prime 4'd a couple times. So.
Totally. I think they even said that. I could be wrong.
I know they said they had to rework the combat system, if I'm thinking right. I remember they talked about that. That's a PS5 game. Like,
they talked about having to scrap almost all the art, and that was like almost a year and a half or 2 years ago. They talked about the fact that they were showing sketches of Cloud at some museum, and they were saying like, "Oh yeah, we had to redo all this art." It's like, if you're redoing character models, you're at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if you're like doing concept art. Yeah, that's like that, and storyboarding is usually like one of the first things you do. So that's not good. That's not good. We'll see about that one. What else? Did anyone play Dragon Mark for Death?
I did. I played it for maybe about 6-7 hours. I played it like all day and just like get up my video. Yeah, I played it a lot. Flawed but fun. I
played it for about that long too. I have impressions that I have written down and I have to like record it, but it was interesting. It was an interesting game. I don't think it's a bad game. I think it's a confusing game for a lot of it. Like, just buying the game is confusing.
Yeah, exactly. And like when you stack it up to like Wargroove and what they put, the content they put in there, you look at it like, oh, why'd they go that route? You know, like they should have just made it normal. I think they were getting a little greedy with the cost of development of this game compared to what they usually do. You can tell that they put more money and more time into this game, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's better than what they've done before, like an Azure Striker Gunvolt or like the Mega Man games that they worked before in the past. You know, so I think that's really what the problem was. There's online multiplayer. I mean, there's like, there's a ton of different quests you can do. There's a lot of the variation between the different warriors or whoever you can use is really good. But there's just something missing. I think I talked about it in my previews, like a dodge, like no dodge button.
Yeah,
like,
so I've noticed that too. You feel almost helpless at times when you're fighting enemies because there's no way to dodge or cancel dodge out of an attack.
Exactly. No, so it feels like you have to just let me count out 3 times I'm gonna hit this guy, then I'm gonna jump. You know, then I'm gonna jump and then count out another times, and then I'm gonna jump, and I'm gonna count out this how many times I'm gonna hit him. Then okay, I can only hit him once here. Now I'm jumping, you know, or now I'm dragging dashing into him. But there's still a lot of cool stuff in the game. Like the dragon dash is cool. Who'd you use, Spawn?
I used the warrior. The tank character.
Okay, the tank character. Okay.
The battle axe. Yeah, I just rolled around with him. He was slower, but he basically had an ability to shield himself and go like invincible at times.
Mm-hmm.
Did he freeze?
Yeah, okay. I was like, I'll just sit here for a second.
But what time?
Oh man, he used the ability right now. He's immune to the microphone.
Oh no!
How are you gonna be the host and you freeze your own body?
I know, right?
He's the
I wonder if it's gonna go down.
Winner.
Yeah.
All right, who's taking over?
Did I lose you guys?
No, you're back. Is Dragon Mark that bad that you just
shock and awe?
Google said something. It was like it popped up and it was like we're experiencing issues. And so I was like, oh great, I'm probably either frozen on screen with like a weird look on my face, or it's just like
you look like you were in the middle of saying something super epic. So we all froze with you. We were like, is this real?
I was there's no same screen co-op in the game. And that's like the weirdest thing to me because the Switch is set up for it. You don't even need all the buttons to do anything. Like one of the buttons is literally just to say hi to somebody on there. Yeah, and it's like they could have done. I know they probably could have figured it out to make it so that single Joy-Con play and everything because it's only on the Switch. So they didn't take advantage of like the one thing that the Switch is really, really good at and sets itself apart with, which is co-op on the same screen, like couch co-op. So that was weird to me. And then the way you buy it. You have an option of buying 2 different versions of the game and there's 2 characters per. So I don't really understand why that is, but because that tells me they weren't confident in a pricing of like, I don't know, $30 for both of them with all the characters.
We also have the additional mission map, right? Like they already have one out.
Yeah, there's one out and then there's one coming afterwards, and then like if you like pre-order it, there's like a striker pack of weapons. It's just it should have been handled better. It's kind of a little bit of a mess.
Does that cost money too for the pack?
Not if you pre-order. I think if you pre-order it, no.
Oh, NT Creates, what are you doing?
It couldn't have been handled worse than Anthem, guys. Come on, let's
we'll talk. Right. we're getting Anthem. I like the idea of it because it's Mega Man but more RPG elements essentially and not as much shooting. But it's I think they could have done it better. So
it could have been done better. But my general thing is like if you like Azure Striker Gunvolt and you kind of like Mega Man and you wanted like an RPG, more of those, like then the game will be fun.
I think it's a fun game. I just think it's a weird way to release it and everything. So it's
absolutely. They should. I mean, maybe just $20. Just $20. Just take whatever take whatever hit you're going to have because you already had a ton of marketing from Nintendo on the game and from people were hyping. I mean, just $20 you get everything in the game, and then maybe if you want to charge for the DLC or whatever, you can do that later. But like, it should have just been a $20 game.
It is. There's a season pass for this game. What in the world?
Exactly. Yep, the season pass, and that's you get the mission that's out, and then you get like another one that's coming soon.
You're right. Additional quest: Dragon Blood Village, Dragon Blood Bandit for the storyline. What?
So break this down for how much does it cost? Because I've never heard of this game. I'm looking at screenshots right now. And it looks cool, but
it's if you want everything, I guess it's $40 because it's 15, and then 10, right? Mm-hmm. So it'd be 40, or you can just buy the Empress and Warrior or the Shinobi and the Witch, and you get the entire game, but with 2 characters per.
Okay, so if I accidentally buy a character I don't like, then I just got a game I don't like.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it's the same, I guess, story. The story's not even that good. The game, it's basically you run through, you level up your characters and everything, and it's like a 2D. I guess you could say it's like a 2D Diablo, kind of, sort of.
You're telling me out right now, yeah.
But the problem I have is that there's no same screen co-op. So if you buy it, you and another person can't. Like they need their own system and they need their own copy of the game.
Yeah, that's a big deal breaker. I play a lot of co-op stuff with my girlfriend, but as soon as it's okay, you better hope this is good because you're buying 2 copies. That sort of
so you would want to spend $30. You buy one and then she buys the other one. Basically, is how you do it. But it's fun. It's just one of the weirdest things I've seen in an indie game. This is an indie game, with NT Creates technically. One of the weirdest things I've seen an indie game do. It's almost like they were trying to mimic like what Pokemon kind of does.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, it sounds like red and blue. Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of, and I bet you is where they got the idea from. It reminds me of remember a long time ago we had those Mega Man Battle Network games, and they had 2 different ones, but it was basically that's I bet you where they got the idea from.
Yeah,
that's so weird.
Yeah, it is weird. It is really weird. There's a physical edition of the game coming out in March, which comes with everything, but it's $50.
Dude, down low is $3. Wow.
Yeah.
That is a steal. I'm sorry, I was looking through the eShop real quick while I had that. Dude, that is a steal right there for $3. Yeah. Nate, you're playing Dragon Mark for Death. Fill me in here, man.
Yeah, I played as the witch. The controls were convoluted and confusing because the spells were like 25 button combinations. I was like, well, I'm going back to the shinobi, and then I'm just standing there and I'm getting my ass kicked because I can just do // charge / and I was shuriken. I was like, yeah, I'm done with you.
Did you must have noticed that there was no dodge button then, right? Because you kept probably thinking about it. You're like, if only I had a dodge button.
Yeah, I just hit Y, backed off. Y, backed off. Y, dashed. Y to kill a slug. It took 10 minutes.
Yeah,
then I fight a dragon. It takes me like 10 minutes to beat a level 10 dragon because my guy's not strong enough because the game doesn't change like the damage output or the enemy health based on single player or multiplayer. It's just standard across the board. It's clear the game is designed for multiplayer. So when you play it solo, it's just all the enemies are sponges.
Yeah, it takes a while to
that's exactly what I said. Like the first boss, dude, I was like hacking away at him forever with the ninja, you know? it was fun.
It's such a weird setup. It could be so much better than like all it needs is a roll dodge or some basic dash dodge, and the combat system would be improved tenfold.
Have y'all played Assault and Sanctuary?
Yeah, yes. I like that game. Yeah, that was from the people who did the Dishwasher series.
Yeah, and so that it's basically just a bad version of Assault and Sanctuary because that's 2D Dark Souls but with a dodge.
It's not as in depth as that one. That one has more RPG elements than this one does. It depends on the style too. If it had the dodge, it would be right there with it. But like this one has more of the Azure, I guess, Striker Gunvolt look to it. I actually think I like the look of this one more than I like Salt and Sanctuary, just because it's brighter.
Salt art, Salt art sucks.
It's similar to that. It doesn't. I guess it's not as fast. Again, it doesn't have the dodge. I felt slow the whole time because I was a tank and I never dodged, so I just got wailed on the whole time.
I think every character's slow. The shinobi is slow. The witch can't really do anything. All her spells take forever. When you're like, oh, I finally charged up a good attack, and it took you about 5 minutes to do.
What are you talking about? I was using the shinobi.
Come on. He ain't fast.
you can run with him, and then he has like that speed thing, that speed thing that like the dragon dash, where you can dash right into enemies and combo them up. He's
at least he can double jump. I mean, the witch you have to cast a spell.
Wait, you guys got double jumps?
Oh yeah, and then the shinobi has a double. He has a double jump, and the shinobi also has like a dragon dash in the air as well, so he can double jump and dragon dash and multiple dragon dash like to combo.
Yeah, that's his best thing is the dragon dash. Otherwise, I mean, the witch is like, oh, you want to do a double jump? Y, X, Y, conjure. By the time you're done with it, like, I don't even know why I have to go here.
Oh man, I just got smacked around as the warrior. It wasn't very fun. No, it was. And then sometimes the other thing is that the game has a time limit on like every mission you run.
Oh, I hate that.
And sometimes you just don't know where to go. Sometimes you just don't know where you're going, and it's like you're just watching that timer tick down. It gave me a half-hour timer, and it was like, go free the balloon, and I was like, what balloon? And I just wandered for 10 minutes, and I ran out of time.
Dude, that's happened to me a couple times, man. Where like I run into like a boss, and I can't beat the boss because I don't have I can't. I just ran out of time. It's 50-minute time limit. The boss is really good. I just can't beat him. I can't beat him in that time limit. I'm like, okay, well, this sucks.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the game could have been so much better with just some basic updates. Maybe they updated. I don't know.
I mean, in multiplayer, it's fun because you have like when you have 2 guys and you're doing these crazy moves and these super attacks. All of a sudden, you're watching the boss get all destroyed really quick. It's just in single player, it's a drag.
Yeah.
It's not a good single player game. But then they don't give you local couch co-op, so I don't get it.
Yeah, that's weird to me that they don't have local co-op. That's the weirdest thing because I guess they want you to buy multiple copies. They're going to play with some I guess friends locally, and you need a whole other system too. So There you go. There you go. Anything else you guys been playing?
I've been okay. Let's see. I have been playing Oniken.
Oh
What?
God.
I think that's how you say it. Oniken, the Liar Princess and the Blind Prince.
What is that?
That's a game from NIS America. It looks like a kid story. It's actually
is this on the eShop right now?
No, it doesn't come out till the 12th.
I'm just gonna take it.
I know about the game. I covered it a bit before. It seems like a kind of interesting game.
Yeah, it's a puzzle. It's kind of like if you ever played Escape Plan on the Vita or the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Like the prince is blind because a wolf like ripped his eyes out.
It happens to the best of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you have to guide the prince, and on the way you have to be like he has to stop. You have to become a wolf, and you have to kill the enemies because he's helpless. And then you have to like lower level layers and stuff. It's a cool concept, and the visuals are pretty impressive.
I'm guessing the plot twist is you rip the prince's eyes out.
Yeah, it's actually how the game opens. Is that he hears someone singing, so he's lured to it, and it's the wolf, and the wolf gets all pissed off, and he basically, the wolf destroys the prince's eyes. And then it feels bad, so it goes to a witch to be wished into a princess, and then the princess wants to take the prince to the witch to get his like eyes back.
Typical story.
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see this Oniken game. Okay, this looks like an older like NES game.
Yeah, it's styled after retro style games of the NES, Super NES era. The same developer also has a game called Odalis. It's like Castlevania from the NES, Super NES era.
Now,
I'm playing that too.
Now I'm interested. Okay.
I have footage of these games up on my channel. Why don't you watch it?
Are they direct feed?
Now I'm interested.
Yes, they are direct feed.
There's no comment. There's no commentary, man.
And there's no commentary.
That's
exactly what
I
you
need commentary,
say.
man. Did you hear you talking about these games? I need that commentary over the game.
You need me to like, well, here I am. I think I'm going to jump over this gap. Well, I did, and I landed. Let's go kill this demon.
See, good commentary, Nate. Good commentary.
See, Nate thinks nobody wants commentary.
I am the Tony Romo of gaming commentary.
The people want commentary, man. I'm telling you. They'll go watch your stuff. You got commentary on there.
I'll be honest. I mean, I just watch just a bit of the videos because you're not talking, Nate. So I just see what I need to see, and then I'm done. I can't watch the full video because you're not saying anything, dude.
I'm showing you what the game is, so you sit there and be like, all right, I know about this game.
Okay, and I see the game, but I don't watch your videos for very long because I see the game, I know how the game plays, and I'm like, I'm good. But if you said something, then I would listen to the full videos because you'd be saying something, even if it wasn't good. Even if it wasn't good what you were saying, I watched the rest of it. I only watched a couple minutes because you don't talk.
You know what they should do? YouTube should add like the ability to have like commentary tracks turning on.
That'd be cool.
That'd
be cool. Or multiple languages.
You need like an SAP button in the corner. Like, I want to listen to someone talk.
There you go.
There you go, YouTube. $1 billion idea for free.
They'll never use it.
See, Nate, these people want to hear you on your channel. I'm telling you.
I've had people tell me during my live streams, why doesn't Nate say anything during his videos? Like, make sure you guys go check out Direct Feed Games. The guy that just doesn't talk, you mean? That's what they say. The guy that's not talking.
Yo, Nate has some opinions, guys. I'm telling you.
I've tested the thing. Like, I'll do it. I'll be like, okay. Like, I'll just do a test, for my own thing. I'll sit there and be like, I'm playing the game. So I'm not talking because I'm playing the game. And I don't want to sit there and be like, well, that guy
Nate, when you had your when you had your
you died, I saw it.
When you had your rant on the Grinch leak, dude, that you saw someone put that video up and it got like hundreds of thousands of views.
They made a music video about it.
But everybody watched it.
I'm probably gonna do news videos where I just point at the video and just point at them and just be like, hey, here you just point, no talking.
Just show screenshots of headlines.
Just point at it. Here you go. Here you guys go.
I would. It was a compelling rant, Nate. I'm telling you.
I would love to see a Nate video that's like, this is me playing the game. I'm still playing it. The controls are a little moist.
That's funny.
I just before we move on, I beat Resident Evil on hardcore with both characters.
Oh, how was that? I finished Leon's and I was thinking about starting up Claire's, but of course Kingdom Hearts, showed up, so I was like, I gotta do this now. But how was it on hardcore mode?
It's really easy. and I'm not saying that like as like a super ultra hardcore.
Dude, you were speed running Resident Evil 2, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I have a lot of experience with it, and I beat it on stream yesterday in 3 hours. But it's really you just have to go a little bit slower, and they give you less pocket space. That's the main thing that makes it harder. But
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'll probably do that. I just got to get through. What you call it, Claire's story, and then that'll probably be it. Although they have other stories too after that, right? The other you have basically four runs, right?
Well, yeah. So there's the 4 runs because you got to do Leon first run, Leon second run, Claire second run, Claire first run, and then there's the 4th character or the 4th survivor as his name, which is Hunk. So Hunk's there. And his is just basically a little mission you could beat in about 10 minutes, but honestly, it's very difficult for me. I've done it a few times. It's just basically you have to speed get bullets to get through the whole game.
Gotcha. I'll do super chats probably when we're done talking about any of the games we played. Anything else, guys, that we played this week? Before we move on to some of the topics, and then Joey's going to tell us a bit about the Rage 2 build that he did or played.
I feel it's just been like bouncing between Resident Evil 2, Kingdom Hearts. Been playing a lot of like retro stuff. I got a couple of different like HD cables that I want to check out and do a video on. So,
retro. What are those HD cables for? Because I probably have a lot of those I need to do eventually too.
Well, I got an HD cable for my Dreamcast. I have some coming for a 64, which I need to get RGB modded before I can even use them. So I'm gonna go pick up a cheap 64 probably from my store and RGB mod that. I was thinking about picking up a second one and doing that Ultra HDMI that you did. Just kind of doing like a little comparison of everything.
I have one of those coming for the Dreamcast too, where I got to open the Dreamcast up and drop it in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I watched your. Are you planning on doing the SD mod as well?
For the Dreamcast, maybe. Yeah. I would look there. It's kind of harder to find that, but I think I have one locked down. But the HDMI one that I found is pretty recent, and it solders directly to the chip, so it like bypasses all of like the other stuff that could mess up the signal. So It's like the 64, which is pretty cool to have that. So
if you end up building that and not wanting it to sit around, I'll buy it just for my collection because I like to have all sorts of different modded. I have so many Dreamcasts, but honestly, I don't have an SD one yet.
Oh, here's a good Evan. Do you want to read this super chat with like your narration voice?
Which one?
The fan fiction one from.
Oh no.
Oh god. Okay. With his left arm, he held me tight. As he held his hammer on the right, he caressed my beanie and told me that he wanted to open up my loins like he does his Switch on a typical Saturday.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm out of here on that note.
I'm fucking done.
Hey, he donated $10 for that to be read. There you go.
I don't care if he donated $1,000.
There was no cursing in the right. There you go.
Can you guys read that again? I got some candy. Can you guys read that again? I want to.
It was very clean, so you know.
Yeah, it was actually. It was something you'd actually find like in the dark corners of the library. So there you go.
That's like what you find in those books they sell in like the front of CVS for like 85-year-old women to remember what passion was in their life. Everything's dried up.
Oh my god, out of those books, man, they sell.
Don't be hating on an 85-year-old woman, bro.
Please let that be like a highlight or something, because that's beautiful. I want to watch that again.
Isn't this a family show?
It is.
Not anymore.
Hasn't been a family show since Ridge Raper, dude. What you talking about?
iTunes gave us the PG mark after that one. So.
Oh well.
Let me go through some of these super chats. Malarkey Man says, "Please diss the bit block some more."
I don't like it.
Boom! You're
Roasted.
Got him.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
There you go. Animal Crossing says, "Hey Spawn, are you excited for Animal Crossing 2019?" I am, but we have not seen gameplay yet, so I don't know what it looks like. I need to see what it looks like. I'm excited for the idea of Animal Crossing, although the last one I really got into was on the GameCube, so it's been a while.
The Amiibo Festival too, great.
So I played the one on there. I didn't play it really on the Wii, and I didn't play it on the DS or 3DS or anything. I like the one on the GameCube a lot.
Dude, the 3DS one is it legit is my favorite. You should pay Leaf.
I'm gonna be real. That 3DS screen going from the Switch, I can't do it. I can't do it.
That's fair.
It's painful. I'm not saying 3DS is bad. It's like 240p, and actually now from the Switch's screen, which looks a lot better, it's really hard to go back to that screen.
Mm-hmm.
It's so tough. But I do understand a lot of people put some serious hours into that.
Mhm.
But I'm just looking forward to the one coming out, this year apparently. Hopefully, I'm curious. We don't know the engine or anything. What if they did that in Unreal Engine? I feel like that would look a bit crazy.
It could work. Isn't Yoshi the new one on Unreal Engine? That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it could work then. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious because that one obviously is going to get scrutinized because it is like their first, I think, Unreal Engine 4 game or even Unreal Engine at all.
Yeah, really.
So
I never thought they'd ever work with Unreal Engine, and yet here we are. Future's weird.
Animal Crossing might just be an in-house engine or something. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it, but that game is going to suck up some time. But it's a very relaxing game, right? It's not like you're like trying to do these pinpoint jumps or anything, or Dark Souls or anything. So although I am waiting for that headline, Animal Crossing is like the Dark Souls of the series or something.
It's the Dark Souls of fishing mini games. I guarantee you that's going to be a thing.
Somebody has to do
Christian News Gaming Network.
Man. Super Sandwich said, I've only played 358 over 2 days. Should I buy Kingdom Hearts 3? First of all, isn't 358 over 2? Isn't that basically just a bunch of cutscenes?
No,
It is now. It is now. Yeah. Like,
yeah, if you buy it like on the on like the PlayStation or whatever, it's just basically all the cutscenes.
mhm. Yeah. I mean, I've only ever played most of the first game, and I have friends who are currently playing through the series. My friend is on Dream Drop Distance, the one before Kingdom Hearts 3, and he says, I'm back at square one. I don't know what's going on anymore. So
yeah. So here's what I'd recommend. I would recommend looking up some YouTube videos of people who try to explain the story and go through each game. That way you can save some money and then jump into Kingdom Hearts 3, because I do think the first one hasn't aged very well. I'll be honest.
There's a decent recap on 3 itself. They have a good recap that you can watch right at the screen.
One.
I watched it, and I still don't know what's going on. So
I like how the recap is composed, but beating the whole series, it felt more like it was tailored to people like me. It felt like it was, remember these big plot points.
Yeah. It does say "help me remember," so it implies like it's to help those remember. So yeah.
Okay. Riku Kitu says Nintendo said they have 2 unannounced games. What do you guys think they'll be? I'm thinking one of them is Mario Maker with a world map editor. That'd be kind of cool if you have you actually build an entire world map and you go between levels, like Super Mario World. That would be really cool.
That'd be
Great
crazy.
addition.
I think they need a Mario Maker anyway, because that game blew up on Twitch. It was super. People still have their Wii U's hooked up because of that.
There are channels that only do Mario Maker content and still get hundreds of thousands of views.
Yes.
Crazy.
So if they have a brand new one, and Nintendo's policies for online stuff have changed this much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. It's gonna be fun online with.
And bear with me, slopes.
Yeah,
Please
that's
add slopes.
Isn't that, Nate? Isn't that what you said? Hills.
Yeah, the game needs hills. If it doesn't have hills, don't even bother releasing it.
Listen, screw making documentaries. I'm just gonna play Mario Maker when that comes out. That's a ticket right there.
What do you think, Nate, about a world map editor? I think it'd be kind of cool.
That almost seems too ambitious for Nintendo.
Oh man,
Too ambitious for Nintendo.
I almost feel that's asking a little too much. I mean, if we get hills, they went the extra mile. Let's just settle with hills. We get hills to say thank you. You guys did what you should have done on the Wii U.
Hills.
I mean, yeah.
Just give me hills, man. That's all I need.
Elvis, what do you guys think those the games are? I mean, we heard talks of like a Zelda game. I'm kind of thinking one of them's a Zelda game, but that's just my thought there, because we keep hearing it pop up.
I mean, it's Nintendo. Nintendo said we have games that we still have to announce. Isn't that kind of like a no shit?
Yeah, but you know what happens with the internet? Once it gets said, everyone starts speculating about it now.
Because this is what happens when we don't have a direct for a long time.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
I legit predict this is going to be a new IP. I strongly think it is. With the way that Splatoon 2 has just gotten legs and gotten legs and gotten legs and sold and sold and sold and sold, and every update was downloaded so much, it makes me think that they're probably willing to put more money behind some other weird, crazy idea. Because
I mean, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be
the more they experiment, the more it's paying off. Like, look at just completely reinventing Zelda was a humongous success. So I think this is probably going to be a new IP.
It is interesting. I think that Splatoon didn't exist before the Wii U was a thing.
I know.
weird.
It's crazy to me how polished it is. Like, I still love that game. I just bought it for a friend of mine for her birthday, and she's just so hooked on it.
Oh man, people keep bringing up Pikmin.
Does that even count as an unannounced game, really?
Right.
Like, oh my god, it's been how many years?
We don't have a title for it. I guess you could technically.
This is like the thing. People are going to speculate, oh, what's this delightful game going to be? And let's say Nintendo announces like 6 games this year. And we're not going to know which one it was.
We're going to argue about
True.
it.
It's going to be, well, was it this?
One.
Was it this? Was this new IP? Was it a Mario Maker? Was it a 2D Zelda? Like, was it Metroid Prime Trilogy? Who the hell knows?
It's a shame
it could be any of them.
It's a shame that they already announced Animal Crossing because everyone would agree that Animal Crossing is the delightful game that they would announce.
Yeah.
Like the other one. Oh, this will have online play. Well, okay, so the default everyone's going to is, it's probably, if Star Fox GP is real, it's probably Star Fox GP.
Yep.
Like, okay, but it could be something else. They're vague teases just basically to start, a conversation online, and people are going to speculate and lose their minds over. And it's like when Sony, we're making new hardware. Oh wow, I didn't expect you guys to make a PS5.
Are we still banking on that January direct?
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
January 2020. There's definitely going to be a direct.
Oh, okay.
I think
we're not in January.
Oh yeah.
I just noticed that we're not in January.
Yeah.
I think when it seems like they don't mind as much about the quarter we're in now because they lowered their expectations. It doesn't sound like they have any like massive thing to drop in February. March. I mean, she's at the end of March. They might have like something smaller, but I don't think they have anything massive. So we'll have to for the big ones. We probably got to wait till April starts up to where we start really seeing stuff drop in there. But they can always talk about stuff and announce it. You never know. Yeah. Would F-Zero actually work nowadays? I keep seeing people talk about F-Zero. Would people buy into F-Zero like that?
Man, I would love an F-Zero game. Like, I literally go back to my GameCube, and it's awesome that I got the GCHD thing because I love playing F-Zero so much. I'm actually looking for an action replay so you can unlock the arcade game.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Because like I don't know, man. Like I feel like if they could reinvent something with it, add something extra into it. F-Zero is such a great like futuristic racer to me. So me personally, I would love to see another F-Zero, but will the masses? I don't know.
How did Fast RMX do?
How
did Fast RMX do?
The only sales the update we got was it sold over 100,000. But that was the year that launched. Like, in a couple of weeks, it sold like 100,000 units. But that's all in an update, so it did good for an indie game, basically.
Yeah, but you know how it goes.
Like
if it has like a Nintendo IP on it, usually it sells a bit better. So
yeah, I mean, I feel like at this rate, would F-Zero still be a fully priced game?
That's
because I mean, granted, I've never played an F-Zero, so I can't really talk too much about that. But like, how much would the masses pay for a $60 F-Zero racing game?
I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nate.
I'm saying F-Zero is it's a game that can't be full priced. Sony struggled with the Wipeout series, whether it was in VR, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3. Wipeout never really gained traction all that much. I mean, I think the studio shut down. So I don't think F-Zero just doesn't have a market right now for a full price game. If it came in at like $20, even if it's an HD version of F-Zero GX, it would probably sell 5,750,000 worldwide copies. But F-Zero just isn't that big of an IP anymore.
They would have to reinvent that game, series, I think. Yeah, I mean, they would have racing in there, but they'd have to have something even away from the racing with Captain Falcon. Although I'd like to see Captain Falcon, maybe them explore his character a bit. That'd be interesting.
Do some actual bounty hunting.
I think that there's a lot of hunger for another racing game on Switch, like real badly. I think a lot of people want something to race besides Fast RMX or Mario Kart.
Star Fox Grand Prix. It's fun.
Yeah, So we'll get Star Fox.
Crash Team Racing will come to the Switch.
Yeah, well, and we have Gear Club, but I'm saying I think that we need another really giant new thing.
So, to add to that, like exactly what you're saying, Max. Like, I would personally love to see something along the lines of what Diddy Kong Racing did, where it had like an adventure aspect to it, not just going in picking your class, what speed you want to race at, what tracks do you want to do. I want to see something with like a little bit more ambition, and like if they even did that with F-Zero, I think that would be fantastic. Like, have some kind of like hub world, have some kind of like story driven concept for it. So like something aside from just the racing, you know, because obviously we have Mario Kart, we have all these other things, just like Jordan just mentioned, we have Crash Team Racing on its way. I think that's something with a little bit more story elements to it to give the game a little bit more life or some kind of personality. I think to separate it from just the racing genre, just like this adventure style racing game, I think would work well for, you know, a console like the Switch.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Diddy Kong Racing come back.
Inside information, some Crash Team Racing footage is dropping Monday, but you didn't hear that from me.
Okay, there you go. We got a screenshot for it under that, and then we got the confirmed release date for it to be coming out at the same time. But that's cool. We'll keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Then K19 says, I'm tired of 8-bit style games. Give me those retro polygons. N64 PS1 style games would be an interesting type of game.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a PS1 game, basically that visual style that dropped on the Switch, and it's like a sneaking Metal Gear Solid game, and I cannot remember what it was called.
Well,
Never Stop Sneaking.
That one, yes.
Yeah.
If you really want that, put your money where your mouth is and pick up what was it called, like Le Grand Legacy.
Yes.
It is 100%. It feels like somebody played Final Fantasy IX, went into a time capsule, came out modern day, and tried to replicate that. It has that kind of polygons, that kind of.
And if they want to play a terrible game that came out of the N64 era, they should go buy Ark on the Switch.
Oh man!
Look at that. They gave exactly what this guy wanted with Ark, and he didn't even buy Ark.
Did you ever get? You never got a hold of that game, did you, Nate?
No, thank God.
I still have it, man. I could send it to you if you want to get some of that.
I should do my Turok 64 versus.
I can get Turok 64. It might be unfair because I'd be using the 64 with HDMI, and to be honest, it probably look a little better.
I mean, Turok's gonna look better than undocked Ark, but
and I have the expansion pack, so it'll actually run at a higher resolution by a lot. It'll run at twice the resolution with the HD mode. Oh man, that game is bad.
Oh my God, yeah.
Sakontent says, have you tried Videl or Jiren in Fighters? Evan, did you play any of them yet?
I've seen the video, but I wasn't really interested in picking either of them up. But the reveal of Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta and the Dragon Ball Super Broly seems kind of interesting.
Yes.
I played as Jiren.
Oh, how was it? Was it good?
It's not bad. I mean, he's a little slow. I wish his moveset was a little more representative of what he actually displayed in the Tournament of Power, but I mean, he's probably worth the price.
I watched a ton of top competitor Hook Game God play on his stream, and Jiren looked pretty cool. I mean, he was playing online and he was just like wrecking people. I think maybe takes a little bit of time to get used to him, but he looks like a pretty cool character. But yeah, he doesn't really fight like he fights in like Dragon Ball Super. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, when do people Dragon Dash? People don't Dragon Dash into people either, right? So,
Joe, did you want to tell us a bit about Rage 2? Because you and Max have played it.
Yes.
I haven't looked too much into Rage 2, to be honest, but there's just a lot of stuff that's been going down. So what are we looking at here with Rage 2?
Of course. Well, with Rage 2, we're looking at a game that's going to be better than Rage 1. Granted, that's kind of a low bar.
I was going to say, good.
We're starting off great. But even then, after seeing what id Software did with Doom and are doing to Doom Eternal, I have full confidence like they're going to take the awesomeness they've learned from making those games and putting it into Rage 2. And so far, I'm kind of right on that. There are some things I'm worried about, which I'll get to later. But right now, gunplay wise, it's awesome. It's different than Doom though. Like it doesn't feel as it is very different. It doesn't feel as fluid as Doom per se, but let's say this game requires skill if you want to get like the absolute most out of your combat.
Let me interject really quickly. Elvis Sanchez, I actually glossed right over yours because you were right before the fan fiction one, and that took up my attention for a minute there. Elvis is actually finishing the rest of their Labo robot set while they're watching the SpawnCast. So wish me luck, guys. Sean is very good at putting that together. If you want to tweet him about it, he can help you out. Yeah, he can help you out, Elvis. If you got to get that robot set together.
He's
by the way,
Labo guy.
He's never put that together. It's still in a drawer in his house.
He should just move out and leave it there so the repairman has to
should.
become a robot.
He should just leave it there. Yeah. Yes, that never got done. So Rage 2, I looked at it though as well, Joe. I didn't play it or anything. But it reminds me of the first one with actual like splashes of color.
Yeah,
which is good because the first one was very dull and like bland looking.
Exactly. I feel like they're doing to this game what Watch Dogs 2 did to 1 by saying, "Oh, the first game was boring as hell. We need to like just go all the way with extreme zaniness." Which I hope it's like sometimes I feel like that's just so obnoxious. Like Watch Dogs 2 is kind of obnoxious with that, and I'm afraid Rage 2 is going to go down that same path. But you know, as long as the game is fun, which so far it is, even though like the combo wise, it's hard to pull off combos at first, but the game like motivates you to pull off combos, like throw off like there's a move where you throw a grenade and you can like bounce off of that grenade and then do like a Superman sort of bam on the ground. It's really fun when you get the hang of it. It's going to take a while for people to get the hang of it at first, but Max, what'd you think?
So I liked it a lot. The biggest thing that blew me away was really funny. Like it has like jokes that are written, and people understand it's very hard to put a good joke in a game. So the mission I had to do was I didn't get to drive. My car was parked, and I'm basically at this base in the middle of a desert. I have to go in there, and it turns out that there's this presidential museum, and they decided to hack the system, so I'm the president. So as I'm walking through it, all the computers are like, "Thank you for coming back, Mr. President. Like you're the best. Like thanks for taking us to space, Mr. President." And I had to basically like hack a panel to bring in a satellite, and that was the goal. So I had the force kinetic ability, so I could blast people back, and I had the ground pound, and I had something else. I can't remember what the other ability. I think I had a charge. And it was good. I had in it. I had, and of course, I had the rage thing where you slow down time and get extra damage and stuff. The demo only had like the pistol, a sniper rifle type thing, a shotgun, which felt really overpowered. But it was fun and colorful, and I liked it when you turn on the rage mode. It almost looks like a staticky 80 music video. It's so over the top on purpose. I like that. It's cool. What was your mission? What was the gameplay thing you played?
The mission, and after the mission, we got to explore the open world more. So I'll give my thoughts about that. Yeah, the mission was to like go to this town and then meet the mayor, and the mayor tells you like you need to take out some big VIP at the town. But in order to do that, you got to get into a club and build reputation. And so by building reputation, you got to go to this racetrack and you do a race there. And they didn't let us do like any car combat. Like the race was just pretty basic and stuff. But after that, we go to this TV studio. Yes, they have like there's actual TV in this post-apocalyptic world.
Like with the first one.
Yeah, that's right. I barely played the first one because it was so boring. But then you're going and you're meeting the host of this show. She's like this old lady wearing some skimpy clothing, doing all the dancing and stuff. And then one of her servants like cuts open her hand and pours blood into her cup, and she drinks the blood. And I'm like, okay, you need to just relax for 1 second.
What's the open world like? Is it actually like completely open without loading times or anything?
Yeah, it's completely seamless from what I've seen.
Oh, wow.
But the open world kind of worries me because the missions they gave us to go to felt very samey, and I'm afraid this game is going to be pretty repetitive in the end.
I feel kind of grindy at times with the mission structure. Okay,
yeah, because they have like enemy outposts, and I don't even know if they have radio towers, but they might. So that's kind of my concern.
That was my worry too, is just because since I was so deep in the desert, at the end of my mission, I got to climb up on top of this tower and look around from like inside the base, and I could see that the desert went on for miles and miles and miles, and you could see a couple cities here and there, but I was sort of like, that was my big problem with the Mad Max game. As much as I liked the Mad Max game, you spent so many hours of that driving between checkpoints. Sometimes you'd go back to the previous town and have to drive up to the base again. I don't want to spend all my time doing donuts in the desert.
Exactly. And you can tell this was made by the people who made Mad Max. A lot of similarities, same exact game engine. It's not running on id Tech, which kind of disappointed me, but still.
We're forgetting the biggest question about the game. Is John Goodman reprising his role in the game?
I I think
not buying it. This is a try. Unless it's coming to Games Pass, I'm not buying it.
Yeah, you know, Sony. I think his character's probably dead because it takes place, I think, 70 years after the first game. So because they basically told me, just so you know, like you don't need to play the first game at all and they slipped me a 5 saying, please don't play the first game.
Yeah, they had some sort of official statement where someone, like so many people were asking, where's the main character of the first game? They finally just said officially, like, we don't know. We didn't even write where he's at. We don't know.
That's crazy. That's
I
so
played
funny.
and I played and beat the first game and did like most of the achievements, and I don't remember anything about that. And I literally did everything in that game and played the hell out of it. Like, and I don't remember anything. So
OJ, so I played about that much too. Do you remember in the hallway shooting? Because I feel like when you were inside underground, it felt like Doom, and that's when I liked it. It's when I was up on the surface that I was bored to tears.
Yeah. The surface was a little bit lame. I mean, you're driving around. There's always people kind of attacking you. Like you do these like little random type of set things, but when you go underground, like you start fighting against those weirdo things that like start jumping around all over the place. That's actually pretty cool.
Well, that was the thing, because at Rage 1, the big thing was the enemy AI and the interaction and how they worked against you, how they adjusted their strategies, which is why the overworld sucks so much. Did you see anything like that in Rage 2, like how the AI works? Because I remember at one point I had 2 super soldiers fighting me. Only one had a shield, and the other one was freaking out because I was kicking his ass. So he ran to his buddy with the shield, went behind him, and started firing his gun over top of him as they kept coming at me. I was like, wow, this is actually fun.
Yes. So there's that in Rage 2 from what I saw. And the other thing that's about it is that Rage 2 purposely tries you from every angle in a non-overwhelming sense. There's always 3 to 5 guys messing with you. So sometimes you'll be fighting 2 guys and someone literally comes in a zip line, or someone jumps off a balcony above you, or there's somebody like down the floor beneath you throwing grenades up. It's enough that you're busy, but never so much that I was just like it never became too much.
Yeah, exactly. Like, whereas with Doom, it's just like they don't care. They'll throw enemies all over the place. But with Rage 2, it's like, well, since it doesn't play like Doom, it's a slightly more tactical experience, I would say. Even though you're still going around shooting up the place, you still gotta like take cover in certain situations. You have to figure out which weapon's right for which scenario. Like, there are these giant mechs that are they're all piloted by dwarves, like, and it's just like, okay, well, there you go there. And you always gotta have the rocket launcher, and the games are gonna get more fun the more weapons you unlock.
Well, and also my demo had a bunch of people who were wearing like homemade armor, like melted pots and pans and stuff, and you'd actually have to use your force ability to blow their armor off, because your bullets would bounce off their gear first. So you had to either shoot their armor off first or blow it off of one of your special abilities. So there was nice tactical too.
Yes, of course. This isn't a game where you just run around mindlessly. You still gotta like think about how you're gonna go about things. It's still a very fast game though.
And Rage 2 is out May 14th. So in what's that, 3.5 months, I guess it'll be out.
Yes.
That's a Tuesday. So there you go, May 14th, it'll be out.
What do you know?
Game releasing on a Tuesday. Yeah.
That's people forgot how to do that. And I jokingly asked the studio director of id, when's the Switch port? And he said jokingly, we're exploring opportunities, which I'm just like, I don't know, it's not happening.
They've said that a couple times. Yeah, they said that a few times. So but here's let me pull this up. Evan, I need you to dim the lights for a second, because we're about to take a look at a PowerPoint. It is. Why is that blinking?
Whoa. You're going to give people like a seizure.
Yeah, we need an epilepsy warning here.
We need Art Electronic to come over here and help out.
Yeah.
Is that still working? I don't think it is, right? No, okay, we're good now. There we go.
We need Coach Essence to explain the chart.
You're not properly explaining this chart, dude. You're making us look bad.
So this apparently is something you need to look at when you want to go buy Anthem. It's okay. So they did this with Battlefield 5. Battlefield 5 did very well, by the way. First Battlefield did not make it in the top 10 MPDs for a year in the last decade. Battlefield Hardline is about where it actually did worse than Hardline. Technically,
worse than Hardline.
Hardline finished. I think 2015 it was number 10. Battlefield 5 was number 14.
God.
Jesus, that's sad. That's not even funny. That's just sad.
So EA reflected on it, and they decided, let's do the same thing to Anthem. So this is their release. Yeah. So this is what you need to look at if you want to buy into it. It's pretty clear they're trying to push their Origin Access Premiere for PC, as that is. So the game's basically ready on the 15th. Technically, it's probably ready now because they're technically having people pre-order to be a part of a a beta, or I'm sorry, a VIP demo. It's a beta, but it's clearly ready the 15th. So if you sign up for their Origin Access Premiere, only on PC, by the way, then you get access on the 15th. Otherwise, you have to wait till basically the 22nd, unless, of course, you have EA Access, in which case you'll be able to play the first 10 hours starting February 15th on either the Xbox or the PC.
My brain hurts. Looking at
is anyone buying
why
this
is there
game?
2 X's after the check marks on EA Access and
because you lose access on the 22nd.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, this is.
There's a great Photoshop of this going around from, I think, one of the employees at IGN photoshopped this, and it said, "Should you buy Anthem?" And instead it just said like, "Yes, I'm a big fan of Destiny and looter shooters," and it said maybe, and the other option was just no. Like, are you anybody else? No.
Jeez, I love how every like game publisher and developers jumping on this thing. Like Devolver Digital put out today, when can you play Ape Out? And it's just like one chart saying this date, this console. That's it.
Dude, it's crazy. They're putting out bingo cards so you can figure out when the release date is of a game. Ubisoft does the same thing for some of their games, so it's not like it's just EA, but this is where we are with live services. They want you to basically they want the PC gamers to essentially become part of a subscription service. That's what they're trying to do here, because it's been very difficult to do that. Microsoft right now, I can tell you, is trying to figure out how to get an Xbox Live subscription out of PC gamers right now. They have to be. So yeah, EA's doing the same thing, and they're just basically locking early access. And they do this we've seen this with other games too, right? We've seen this with Forza did that with Forza Horizon 3. If you paid $100, you actually got access 3-4 days early.
Yeah, but didn't they tell you that, like, in the pre-order of it? Like, that's what they told you for that version? Because there's people who have bought, like, the $80 to $100 version of Anthem who did not know that this was about to happen, and they only get it on the final day.
That's insane. Yeah, that was the whole point of the Ultimate Edition for Forza, essentially, was that you got it, like, 3 days earlier. Or it came out on Friday, you get it Tuesday. So, yeah, 3 days early.
What Evan said reminded me of the Best Buy employees. Like, when I went to I pre-ordered my Switch. They let people who pre-ordered it that day over people who pre-ordered it like early and ahead of time. They got to get their Switch before other people who pre-ordered it way before it. Like, EA's backward. That's what I'm trying to say. EA's backwards as hell. They don't like this chart, man. I had to just make fun of it. I couldn't do anything serious. I had to literally make a whole video joking, like clowning this chart.
Everyone needs to make fun of this chart because it's ridiculous. I
had a video seriously talking about it and breaking it down, and then I watched it. I was like, "This is stupid. Like, let's just make fun of it instead." Like,
do you think that if Anthem now flops, do you think that they'll finally understand that, like, 2 strikes, it's this chart thing isn't working?
No. Anthem can't flop. No.
Anthem. No, I honestly, low key, I don't want Anthem to do well because of how EA treated it.
That would be bad. No, that would be bad. That would have severe consequences if Anthem flops.
We're concerned about BioWare essentially because honestly, if you play Anthem, it's actually like at its core a good game.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
I'm speaking with my wallet. I don't want to support BioWare anymore.
It'll be fine though. They'll cut BioWare and THQ will pick them up, and then we'll just get some games from THQ.
Yeah, THQ making Mass Effect, that'd be amazing.
Well, here's the thing: Dragon Age is being done by BioWare, right? They already teased that.
Yeah,
I really hope that's the game I'm going to give BioWare a second chance at. But they should have not let a smaller studio handle Mass Effect. I'm always going to bring that up about how mad I am about that.
You still butthurt over Andromeda?
I am always going to be butthurt over Andromeda.
Get over it, man. And I'm like a Mass Effect fan.
No,
here,
I will not get over it. That game literally broke my heart.
Oh, whatever.
I was in a committed relationship with Mass Effect through its good times and its bad times with 3, and then it just hits me with this like a time is in a divorce moment.
Andromeda, move on, Fringy.
No, I will not. Anthem is just glorified Iron Man.
They'll probably. I would assume that they would do something like a Mass Effect trilogy or something on the Switch, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm surprised we haven't
gotten the trilogy yet on any console. I mean, like remastered, but EA had this thing against remasters, and then they remaster Burnout something.
Yeah.
Burnout Paradise.
I would like to see the first Mass Effect remastered. That would be cool.
You're all complaining about BioWare. Meanwhile, EA is busy preparing Jade Empire HD, and then everyone's gonna forget about it. And they're just like, "Oh my God, BioWare and EA, we love you. You gave us Jade Empire for $20."
Right up until the month before when they dropped the hey, if you buy it this way, you'll get it a week before.
Go to the Jade Empire, you get the game like a year early.
Yo, I'll go through a whole spreadsheet for Jade Empire HD. I don't care. I will do that. Yeah, they better don't mess with Jade Empire, man.
Hey, they did a trademark today for it.
Oh, that better mean there's a game coming.
Jade Empire is dope, dude. I beat that game like 3 times. Man, it's so good.
Again, you know what I never knew is how broken that game was. One of the developers talked about the fact that they programmed in jump combat at the very, very end, like weeks before release, and so AI doesn't know how to react. So if you jump, like enemies just think you became invisible, and I never noticed that. So you can literally just jump and then punch people, and literally even the last boss you can flawless. And I had no idea because I'd never tried that.
Oh man, that game! I like that game a lot. That was great.
That's hilarious. Though.
They need to remaster the original Knights of the Old Republic if we're not gonna make another one.
Right.
That'd be great too.
I'll take that. Yeah, that would be good.
Right?
That'd be a start.
On the topic of Anthem, I am gonna get it to review it, but I would not suggest anybody buy it. As fun as that game is.
I feel like it's going to drop in price very quickly.
Yeah.
Like I just have this feeling that like 3 months down the line, it'll be like $25 most places.
I mean, the fact that there's a screenshot that has a $20 skin and a $12 emote on it, I think that they're going to get a price drop.
Well, here's the issue. That's out there. And I feel like they're okay with it being out there because then they're going to lower it to like $10 for the skin, and then everyone's be like, "Yes, it's not $20." And
how did that shot get out there with it, or why were they letting people see the price of the stuff? That shouldn't have been a thing.
Apparently, it was they were doing some demonstration for one of the major gaming websites, and they gave them this video that they were allowed to play. And somehow it got into a stream and somebody screenshot it. So that was a video. They were given a video that showed all the prices and didn't reveal all of it. But that screen, which was the paused video, appeared somewhere, and Sony managed to get that screen grab, which is why EA's not taking it down. They've just officially commented like, okay, we disseminated this information in small doses. We didn't expect it to spread this much. So I do think that those were originally the finalized prices. I don't think that
even the devs have said, "Oh, the prices will change," which tells me the economy is going to change. Before the game's even out.
The game is launching like,
dude. This is it. Yeah, I know.
What do you mean the prices are going to change?
Yeah. They said the economy. You know what's going to happen, dude? They're going to release the game. They're taking it easy on the microtransactions to make sure they get good reviews. No one points it out. We just saw it with Black Ops 4, right? There was no microtransactions, nothing. We all liked the game and we're like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." And then 2 months later, it is like they're selling reticules for $2 now.
Shenanigans with BioWare, dude. Like
Halo did that.
Before I'm gonna stop.
Halo 5.
Halo 5. So they gave us review copies 2 weeks early. They turned on the servers. They gave out review copies, so the servers were actually pretty full before launch. We were all playing it. We all having a great time. We all release our reviews. Day one, they come out with this giant patch. Like the day after launch, it comes out this big patch that introduces the whole microtransaction system. We could see it before the game came out, but there were no price numbers. You just see it as like, "Oh, here's cards. This is what it'll be." And then afterward, we see that everything was it was like, "Oh, this is bullshit."
Halo 5 is still pretty popular. I mean, it sold well and everything, but yeah, I get what you're saying with that's the problem with live services. Things can change like on a dime, like right away. So
has anybody played Anthem? It is fun. I will say it is fun.
Yep. They're doing another demo or beta
this weekend.
Yeah, it's going on right now.
Yeah. So I think it is fun, yeah. But we'll see how it is on release day.
I don't know how it'll hold up in the long run, but I did play a bit of it. I played it on my S for some reason, not my X, because I just didn't feel like downloading it on my X because I wasn't in my office. I was just lying down in my bedroom with my S there. But I mean, I think it's good, but that's what I'm saying. Like the shenanigans, it's like, why can't they just put together a full game and release it for 60 without all this? I swear to you, they would be fine. Like I don't know what all this I don't know. Maybe I
was looking back in a video and I was looking at EA's past like releases. Dude, back in like the 2001 to like even 2000 to 2005, they would release like 25 to 30 games a year.
Yeah.
They're releasing so many games, like different copies for each system and everything, you know, as the GameCube or whatever. But like they were releasing so many games. I bet you if they had the Star Wars IP back then, we'd be getting like 8 or 9 Star Wars games like a year or something crazy. It was insane how many games they were releasing. Now they don't. None of these companies release that many anymore.
Yeah,
really.
That's what I was talking about. I got in a big debate with David Jaffe over that because I think a big part of that's not transactions, DLC. Those just make so much money now. Like, look at Rockstar. That was my big example. Somebody sent me a chart of Rockstar when they discovered microtransactions just about making games. Like Rockstar used to come out with 2 to 3 games every single year, no matter what. And then all of a sudden, like they start being able to make microtransactions in Grand Theft Auto 5, and they're like, we're good.
Yep. They used to do Midnight Club. People forgot about that game.
Yeah,
I never forgot about that game.
Never forget about Midnight Club.
Oh man, I did. I went back and I grabbed. I started up Need for Speed Underground 2 again. Oh man, I had the soundtrack kicked in. Dude, I was back.
Yeah.
I was back in 2004 all over again. I was like, oh
I know.
man.
Man, I would play that game and then I'd watch Fast and the Furious and I'd picture myself.
They had the title screen with like the Doors playing and Snoop Dogg and everything. I was like, oh man, this is
on the store.
yeah. I was like, oh,
me.
this is ridiculous. I love that game. That game was awesome.
you said Midnight Club and also what was it? Need for Speed, right? Underground.
Underground 2, man. Oh, Underground 2 was it.
I always thought Underground, like the Need for Speed, was better than Midnight Club, but that was just me.
Same.
I thought Midnight Club was cool because they would tell you points to go to, not necessarily follow this exact line to get there. That was interesting and different, but Need for Speed for some reason just stuck with me, and well, until now, where you unlock car parts from loot boxes.
The sound effects in Need for Speed were just like Fast and the Furious.
Yeah,
like the NOS. It sounded just like it. So.
Need for Speed got me because it seemed to like celebrate car culture more. Like the weird thing where you'd actually get to take a picture of your vehicle for the cover. Photographer for your car. Like that's cheesy, but it felt like a celebration of like, hey, this is fun.
Oh, it was great. Oh, Def Jam Fight for New York. I forgot about that one. That was it, man. Everyone, it still actually it held up well even to this day. Def Jam Fight for New York. Original
Def Jam
plays great. Go back and play it. It was awesome.
I like it. I mean, I like the not icons. That game's trash. But
no, we need a new one where it's all the old school rappers versus all the SoundCloud rappers.
Didn't they tweet something about that like 2 months ago? Do y'all remember that?
Yeah, they did. They asked if people wanted it.
Yeah, and I thought they copyrighted Def Jam Fight for New York again for some reason.
Oh man, that'd be great.
Def Jam just seems like so much like back when rap was actually like it was, you know, it seems like so much like that type of game, and like now like today's day like with rappers wearing skinny jeans, all that type of stuff.
The new rappers. The new rappers would take a selfie before every fight.
like the Black Beatles, these guys just wearing skinny jeans. They're tiny. They're like anorexic. You know, it's not the same as it was back then. So I mean, I don't know that.
LL Cool J will beat up everybody.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Hey, his mama said to knock him out, so he had to.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: you can make your own. You can make your own character and Fight for New York. You can make your own person, and then you can go through and you can beat up all the rappers you hate now. There you go.
Dude, there's a lot of people who pay a lot of money to do that. There you go. That's not a bad idea. And then you sell every individual.
They're already coming up with that release day spreadsheet, man.
Can't wait.
You want me to explain the chat?
Rappers that like I don't know if I want to play as like the game. I'm like, okay, like you got these like whack rappers.
Wow.
It's like you got all these whack rappers that are in the game. I'm good, dude.
Well, yeah, you make it now.
Soldier Boy's the final boss.
Oh man,
you have to pay. You have to pay him to lose.
I invented this game that you're playing.
Okay, so why don't we move on to Metro Exodus because this was fun.
Oh boy.
Metro Exodus was supposed to come out on Steam, and then about 2.5 weeks prior to its launch, Epic Games comes in and buys them out basically and moves them over to Epic Games Store. That is not going to release on Steam. They're going to fulfill the pre-orders, but if you want to buy it now, you have to go over to Epic Games Store and buy it where there is no review system or really any features like Steam.
Most bare bones online shop right now. Yeah.
So Epic Games is throwing around the money, right? They even managed to grab Ashen, and I think it was Below even that one of those two, Below or Ashen.
Ashen.
Yes, it didn't release on Microsoft Store. It released on Epic Games Store first, which is so weird.
Yeah.
So they're not messing around. They're just throwing money, and it seems like money and exposure, because they put Ashton on like their front page, and they're like, we're just gonna throw you on the front page and here's some money, and don't go to Microsoft even though you said you would, right away. So it's a bad look. And what's interesting about the situation is one of the developers, actually, I think it was today, they put out an entire thing, I think on the Steam community page or forums, where they said that if you boycott the game, we won't be looking really into PC support going forward. Next one. And I was like, whoa, what?
That tweet, a lot of people, and I saw some people in the PC community being like, we get what you're trying to say, but that's probably not a good thing to say.
I was like, I looked at it and I was like, that dude just made Newswave for Monday. All right. But that's bad. Like they're just talking about, and what's interesting is the first one. Evan, do you remember when the first one came out, Metro, and you had your ATI 5770.
Yeah, the 5770 for the DX11, just so I could see how amazing it looked.
Desolation. You were like, it looks amazing. It runs at 8 frames a second, but is the best 8 frames.
So beautiful.
But you're a longtime fan of the Metro series.
It was awesome to see them go back to the first one and expand on it after they did the Redux series. All the stuff for 2 was amazing, and I was looking forward to this one until now.
Yeah. So how do you what are you feeling right now, Evan?
It feels
because you're a PC guy and you're a Steam guy.
Well, like the day I saw that news go up, I saw it was actually a Penny Arcade comic that popped up, which kind of emphasized the whole thing pretty well, because it's for PC. It's always been like Steam, a little bit of Origin, kind of like that, and then the whole conversation between console and PC was just like PC elites versus consoles and all that. Now it's almost like PC ported the console war over to itself. So now we just have to deal with all the different, because they're all coming, right? Like all these other companies are going to split up and start their own purchase setup, just like Epic did, and they're going to try to get you to want to buy from them. It's just going to be so annoying.
Yep. And there's going to be a lot of them. It's going to be worse than the console wars because there's going to be like 18 of these things. There'll be so many. But like you're gonna see like some weird companies set them up too. You're gonna see like watch like Verizon set one up or something.
Damn.
Like we're talking about all of these companies who are gonna be like, oh, we can make that. Yeah, let's do it. We got money. We'll buy this game or that game, or we'll fund this studio to make that game. Epic Games, it seems like they can just do whatever at this point. Like I would be surprised if they somehow got exclusivity of like Half-Life 3 or something crazy. Who knows? At this point, who knows? It's crazy to think about this. But like if you're a person who's been on Steam, you got to look at Valve and say, hey, you can't be like lackadaisical because they're pushing you around right now. You got to do something here.
Stand up for yourself, man.
Right? That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm looking at this and I'm saying, why isn't Valve doing anything?
That's interesting.
Are they just used to being like the de facto default and they're just like,
Valve is mad. Did you see their official statement?
Yeah, they said it's unfair.
Yeah, they're pissed.
They're pissed.
Well, maybe they should start developing games that are worth buying.
What is it? Did you see that? What is it? 97% of people already quit their card game.
Yeah, that card game didn't go as well as I think they were hoping. And like they could make a Left 4 Dead, the next Left 4 Dead. Everyone would go to Steam, and people wouldn't even talk about the Epic Game Store for a while because Left 4 Dead 3 is coming out.
Exactly.
Right? Like there's so many. They could do that. They could do Half-Life 3 if they really wanted to.
So that's the worst part, is that we've seen all these very concrete leaks over the course of the last 5, 6, 7 years. Like we do internal test of an alpha version of Left 4 Dead 3. They were to the point at which they were actually making multiple PCs play together to see if it was balanced, and they just canned it. We know for a fact that we saw notes that they were working on some sort of Portal 3 at some point that was going to tie into it was going to tie back into Half-Life finally, and then that just disappeared. So there's been some stuff that's come out that they were afraid of. They didn't want to hurt their market share. They make so much on Steam just being a service that they focused 100% on that. And I think now we're finally seeing the heat get turned up, and they're like, oh, we need games. We need our games.
Mm-hmm. This is why competition's good. But, what Epic Games did, probably not the right thing to do.
It wasn't great. I think if they had found a game that wasn't coming out, in 2 weeks, if the game wasn't coming out for like a year and they were like, all right, so the Epic Game Stores, I don't think people would have been as mad because they wouldn't have had to scramble at like in the last minute to make it happen. But that was, and they don't even have the basic necessities of user reviews. And like right now, you could probably get away with a lot on Epic Game Store, because when Steam reviews started coming around, people started to realize that there were some games that were exactly 3 hours long. And the reason they were 3 hours long was to be an extra hour after Steam's or Valve's refund policy of 2 hours. And people would warn people in the reviews, and
I mean, these people can just read a professional review.
True.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like the store not having a review means nobody knows what they're buying. There's professional reviews. There's YouTube reviews. There's forums. There's places you can't find this information.
Here's something I've noticed. We say that, we're like, oh, good, but some people just don't do it. Like if it's right there in your face and the review is right below
then that's on them. Like I buy the game. I didn't see. There's no on-site reviews. I didn't know the game was 2 hours. Well, that's your fault for not looking up reviews or other information before you buy the game. Eat your purchase. You fucked up.
And the problem is it comes down to it being a cultural thing. I mean, that's what Amazon does with its one-click purchasing. That's why Epic wants you to tie your credit card to their account. So you can just be like, ooh, this is $3 and it seems kind of interesting. I'm just going to click buy it now. And then you're just done before you even go anywhere else.
Yeah. And then it gets delivered. It's a piece of crap. Well, that's your fault for not looking at reviews.
I will say, like, obviously, I'm a reviewer. That's what pays my bills. But I will say in favor of Steam reviews is the fact that now it's curated recent ones, because a lot of games end up, like, if it's an online game, giant patches down the road completely change it. So it's super useful to be able to look at a patch right now and see, like, okay, if I'm buying Grand Theft Auto 5 right now on Steam, is it completely destroyed right now? And you can look at the recent reviews. So that was the one thing I thought was great. That was the one thing I loved about Steam reviews.
Because it's right next to the purchasing thing. It says recent and overall. So
well, that's the biggest issue we have with reviews now, is that we're reviewing services rather than games. So we have to basically review every patch, or we have to rely on people to do that.
Well, I did as an experiment, and I'm going to do a follow-up video here in March, but as an experiment, some people may have caught on to this. I've been reviewing basically every patch for Final Fantasy 15. I reviewed all the downloadable contents, each of the updates, to see to show people this is how arduous it would actually be. Like that's why Steam reviews help.
I mean, the eShop doesn't have any reviews. One's outraged by it.
I say it needs them. It needs that, and I think it needs a rating system too.
It needs a lot of things.
Well, you see, the rating system, I can put a 5-star and I can think the game's a piece of crap. It doesn't mean anything. Well, it still comes down to the consumer to do their own investigation of whether or not the product is something they want.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying also, and I'm just saying, like, basically also, I think Steam reviews are useful. And I think Epic Games, really the whole reason they're doing this is a show of force. That they're showing that they have so many billions of dollars, they can buy a game out of your pocket.
Yeah,
I'd like to make sure they're putting that towards their platform, just because, as memory serves, a couple of years ago, my buddy, his account just had a huge drain on it. He was like, what the hell happened? It was Epic Games, and they had emailed, I think 2 months too late, that almost all of the accounts on Fortnite at that time had been hacked, and if your credit card was attached to it, people could just buy tons of shit on your account. And like, no one's talking about like how insecure their platform probably still is. I mean, they haven't added anything to it. What are they actually doing with it other than just dumping games in there and giving people a reason to actually want to get into that, to get to your information? Like,
yeah, the launcher is pretty bad. It reminds me of the Blizzard launcher, if it also had a buy it now button. It is very clunky.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be interesting because it's gonna be fun to see, I guess, what the next game is that they buy out from Steam, and if Steam, I mean, they have to react eventually, I assume.
It's just in Epic Games buys Metroid Prime 4.
I mean, you can only
probably buy Rage
much
too.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's Bethesda do their own launcher. You know, they'll do
Epic Games don't care. They'll swoop in. They'll figure out something.
Oh man, that's Epic Games, or the Bethesda launcher has its own issues.
Yeah.
Specifically, its refund policies. But yeah. Did everyone watch the stuff? Anything at all for Crackdown 3?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bright and early this morning. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So I watched the gameplay for it, and it looks like a 2013 game. So
yeah, it looks like it was supposed to come out a few years ago.
I really okay. So I'm getting this on Game Pass. I'm gonna get it right away. I emailed them and I thought about it. I was like, do I really want that to be a game that I kind of get off on the? Because that's not gonna be a good foot to get off on for my first game with Microsoft. But yeah, so I'm gonna get it on Game Pass and play it still because I like Crackdown 1. I don't like Crackdown 2 as much.
Yeah.
I have a hard time believing that this game has been in development for like 6 years.
Really though.
I don't know how this is happening.
Well, it's obviously not been in that same version in development for that many years.
No, they've restarted it, but I had to imagine they spent a lot of money on this game. Like they had to have. I mean, it looks like Crackdown, I guess, but I don't know. It doesn't look amazing or great.
Did you see
good.
just a couple hours ago, Game Informer actually uploaded a video, and it says the title of it is something like, "Is the gameplay of Crackdown 3 good enough to make up for its terrible graphics?"
I get what they're going with. They're going for like a cartoony look, which they did that with Crackdown 2. Crackdown 1 was really fun, and if this is like Crackdown 1, I'll get it. I'll play it. I'll be like, it was Game Pass. I didn't actually really buy it. Technically, I didn't pay $60 for it. You know, it's on there, whatever. I'll play it. And that'll kind of be it. I'll play around with the cloud destruction and be like, oh, that's cool. I'll admit, I watched some of the cloud destruction stuff, and I think they overhyped it a bit.
Yeah, it doesn't seem as intuitive as they made it seem when they were like building up to the game's release. You know what I mean?
It reminds me so much of like really cheap movies where you need someone to like get punched through a wall, and you can see that wall is made of like glue and paper mache.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna say it. Red Faction Grill has better destruction, I think.
Well,
absolutely.
That's because it's not internet based. I remember a long time ago when the PhysX stuff first came out before it joined forces with NVIDIA, we were talking about an online game that used mass physics and destruction, and the problem isn't the way it renders on your computer. The problem is how much information has to be sent to you. So even if it's cloud gaming based, your internet connection has to tell you where thousands upon thousands of objects are at one point in time if it's very accurate to what it needs to be.
It only works in multiplayer too. It's not actually part of the player.
Some of the sound effects seem a little weird too. Like I was watching like someone shooting a grenade launcher or something like that. I was like, it seems a little whack.
I guess from the gameplay that I've watched, I think it might still be an okay game to play. I think it's going to be fun. Like when you just kind of get past whatever, okay, the graphics aren't as good as Red Dead Redemption. I think that's the problem too. It's coming out after Red Dead, right? Oh, this is how open world games supposed to look in the next gen or current gen. But I think if you just like sit down and like you look at some of the game, it does seem like it can be fun. It seems like there's going to be a lot of missions. It seems like there's a lot of stuff that you can do. You can jump, you can do crazy jumps, and there's a lot of explosion and destruction. And the world is huge. Like it's a really big open-ended area. So if you like crazy gameplay and open worlds and destruction, it seems like Crackdown's going to be a cool game. And if you have Game Pass, then it's a nice game to pick up and play. The graphics aren't good, but it still seems like it could be some fun.
It definitely seems like it's going to be a cool game. I think that people are just kind of disappointed because some of the trailers made it look and sound like something a little bit more than what the gameplay shows. And we're probably seeing like such a small piece of that gameplay. They might be just like holding things back and not, showing everything.
Well, they didn't show the opening cutscene for, I remember IGN didn't, Rax, what you're saying it. Yeah. So you're right. They probably are at least something. I feel like, because I think Terry Crews is actually like he's part of the game, right? Like they've scanned him in and everything. I was wondering if there's actually like an actual like shot of him in the game or just a cutscene of him.
I'm sure there is.
And not only that, but in the first couple of Crackdown games, the whole thing was like the more you do of certain things, the more your character levels up, things like that. So who's to say that the level destruction and things that we're talking that aren't really prevalent in the gameplay that we've seen? How do we know that our weapons and stuff aren't going to be upgraded and all this other thing to make things fall down or destroy easier? You know what I mean? So like I think people are getting a little ahead of it right now. But I think that we have the right to be a little skeptical at the same time.
Yeah, the previews actually, they were actually mentioning that it's very similar to Crackdown 1, where you would go around and get the orbs and everything. And I like that because when you get in a car in the first one, if you had it upgraded completely, your car would like transform into the supercar. It was awesome. I like that part a lot.
I will say I'm concerned. I watched about an hour of gameplay from a bunch of different channels, and I noticed that a lot of people seem to be having trouble with the running and jumping. A lot of trouble. It looks like there's like a universal control system for the way you run or the way you drive a car, because people run the way people normally have cars, where like characters almost like run around corners with like a weird slope.
I know what you're talking about.
So it plays like Sonic R, essentially.
Yeah. It looks like, because I saw some people trying to get some early orbs while doing their voiceover commentary, using the jump jets and stuff, where clearly what they want to do, they can visualize, but the game doesn't have enough fluidity to actually execute on that. That's what worries me most.
The running animations look a little
the overall animations. I mean, the game overall feels like one of those old school like superhero MMOs, like DCUO or something. Just as a game, and I don't know.
I mean, I'll be honest. I can get over the visuals and stuff because I still played the first Crackdown when they made that backwards compatible, and I'm fine with that. They actually made that free at one point for like I think a week or something, and I'm fine with the visuals. But like, I just want a little more out of the something new with the game. I don't know, but it's it seems that Sumo Digital was working on it, and it almost felt like Sonic Racing had to take a bit of a backseat because that got pushed to, was it coming out midway through this year?
Yeah.
So
May.
I mean, I what do you think? All right, what is everyone, before we move on, what's everyone think the Metacritic score is going to be for it?
Yeah,
70.
70. Well, 70
something.
I'm gonna give it a 74. I'll give it a 74.
I'll give it a 79.
Wow.
Really?
Ooh.
I think the multiplayer is going to be the saving grace of it. I think reviewers are going to find the multiplayer to be high end, and that's going to give it a higher score.
I heard there's like auto lock aim in the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like, is that true?
It is.
Yeah. You basically lock on it like hard locks it. Like you're
that's not cool. I mean, I'm not a multiplayer guy, but that's not cool.
Yeah. There's some videos of it clear as day. Like the person locks on and you cannot move your camera away from that person. It's something else. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting. We'll see. I mean, does anyone think it's gonna be an 80 or above?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Not in any timeline is this game over an 80.
Okay. We'll go with that. Let me get through some of these super chats before we get to a few other things. A couple more topics, and we'll finish up. K19 says Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer 2 is coming to Switch. Christian Gaming Network has the scoop. Ooh. So bookmark it. Yes. Let me see. Ruffle says, I'm amazed for how long this series has been going. No one from either Square Enix or Disney didn't approach Nomura and criticize his writing. I assume that's for Kingdom Hearts 3. I think he probably just wrote himself into a corner and they were like, good luck getting yourself out of this one. And he was well, watch this, time travel. Like,
I think they don't care. I think they didn't understand how to attack how bad the writing was because they didn't understand the story when it was handed to them. So I don't think they had it. They were just like, let's just leave this one alone.
Like once time travel comes into it, you go, wow, they must have really messed up something.
Well, especially double time travel. A person goes to the past.
Oh man, we're doing double time travel.
Yeah.
That's too much time travel.
Jesus.
Joshua says ARMS, aka most underrated Switch game, said fight me. I don't know. All right, so I have not gone online with ARMS at all. Are people still playing online with that game?
Yeah. I mean, there's probably some people still playing online with that game.
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't either.
I was curious. I have not played it.
My boy Trap Lord Huey, he's a competitive ARMS dude. He still posts videos of him bopping people online every day.
Okay. All right. Very good. And then Matthew Heyman says, what about another Carmageddon? Isn't there... I thought we heard news about a Carmageddon, as crazy as that sounds.
Well, didn't they do one like 2 years ago already? And it was kind of weird. Maximum Carnage.
No. I think there's I think it was trademarked or it was getting a remake or something. I remember hearing about it like a few months ago. I might have to look in that, Matthew, but you might see Carmageddon again. We'll see.
They'll call it Carmageddon. You know,
zinger.
Doctor says laughed. You read the Spawn Wave and RGT fanfic. I'd say it's RGT's fault after his last inbox video. So much flattery to not ship and have fun. Yeah, Sean was supposed to make fun of me, but he spent about 20 seconds flattering me. So he complimented me for about 20 seconds. So, all right, that's fine. He also thought that Modern Vintage Gamer was from Great Britain, I think.
Yeah. When he started going on about the tea and crumpets and stuff, I lost it.
Yeah, I think even Modern Vintage Gamer is like, what? All right.
Where's he from?
He's Australian.
Yeah.
Oh, we Americans, I get that mixed up all the time. But yeah, he should have done research on
But
that.
then he just did an impression of Wood like 20 seconds later.
Yeah.
Good eye, mates.
Oh, it was so funny. Oh, so funny.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a good video. Viewers go check that out. It was funny. It was a different take on the GameStop stuff, unboxing stuff.
Everyone's doing it now. Once you let out the floodgates saying, yeah, anyone could use the title. Everyone out there doing it.
I was like, I don't care. You guys can all do it. I don't care.
I thought about doing
I'll
one,
never
but
do
I'm just
one.
like, the meme's gonna die by the time I do one.
Nope.
So,
I got another one coming soon.
Oh, snap, boy.
Get ready for it. What's that?
I got one planned. I got a GameStop video planned.
Oh, the one we talked about?
Yeah.
Oh, you do. Yeah. You
That's
should do
gonna be
that.
a banger.
I actually thought that was what his video was going to be, and I saw it pop up. I'm like, if he stole my idea, I'm like, that son of a bitch.
I got a GameStop. I got a GameStop video too, so it should be fun.
I do not.
Everyone's got a GameStop video.
Me either, Jordan.
Well, I'm gonna jump in on that bandwagon then.
I think, you should do yours, Nate. That'd be funny, actually.
Please
That'd be
do
funny. Yeah, you need to do it.
And it won't be a face reveal either. So
It won't
God.
be. Oh, it's just gonna be pointing at the table, I assume, right?
or the car.
Oh, the car.
I guess it depends on where I picked it up.
We need
You could
hand
probably-
reveal.
You could probably film it with just like your phone, dude.
Yeah, it'd just be a hand reveal or like my lap.
Strap a GoPro to your head and then do it. So.
Clash of Spree says, do you think Bungie will listen to their fans now and make Destiny free to play? Maybe. I feel like it's their games will be like the old days. You know what? Isn't Destiny almost free to play anyway right now?
Just about.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got
PC,
Weren't they like they're like giving it away to people, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
the-
happy with the game, and I
The
didn't pay
initial
for either
release,
of them.
yeah, the initial release maybe, but then you got the DLC that you might have to purchase. If they go
Yeah.
full
Yeah.
free to play, even for the DLC, then they're relying entirely on pretty much a shop that's filled with nothing that anyone really wants.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll ever go free to play. Not to crush anybody's hopes. I've played every single expansion of Destiny. They make a lot of money on those expansions. I don't think they'll ever go free.
Well,
to play.
the alternate play is what DCUO eventually did, make the initial game free, but then you can either buy the DLC or pay a monthly fee to get access to
Yes.
it all.
Yeah.
Then, maybe that. Yeah.
Clash with Spree says, will PS5 and the new Xbox get over 100 frames per second like PC?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, I mean, who you call it keeps talking about higher frame rates. Phil Spencer does. So I guess you never know.
I guess.
I don't think you're gonna see. I don't think you're gonna see like 4K at 120. But there's new HDMI protocol coming out. New HDMI input coming out that's supposed to support higher frame rates than 4K. But I don't know if the new Xbox or PlayStation would even support it anyway. So I mean, they got to work within a budget. You know, it's gonna be like a $400 to $500 box.
Yeah, I just think like the most people that buy consoles don't care as much about frame rates as people who like hardcore people like us.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I mean, if they at least do I would like 60 to be like the norm, because even back in like the PS2 and stuff, I was looking back at those and I'm like, there are actually a lot of games that were like 60 frames per second back then.
Exactly.
Which is crazy. And it's like now we're like, all right, hopefully this is locked 30.
They say it's more cinematic.
Yeah, right. Oh man. Frosty says, are you doing a should you buy a Wargroove? Probably. Yeah, I gotta finish my Dragon Mark for Death one first though. But yeah, that'll happen. John on the radio says, hey, sorry to interrupt, but I just want to say I love watching your news videos. I find them very interesting and entertaining at the same time. Keep it up. Thank you. They're very fun to make.
John's a good friend of mine. How you doing, John? Great to see you again.
And then Steven says, get Arlo on the chat. We'll talk to Arlo.
Let's do it.
We'll see what we can do there with Arlo. We'll talk to him.
Have y'all seen Arlo's food reviews?
No.
They're super funny. They're on a second channel called like Arlo Speaks. He tweets them out. But what's really funny is that it'll be like, today we're going to be taking a special look at this beef jerky. It has pretty good flavor. And then all of a sudden Arlo's hand will actually come into frame as the puppet. And it's like, what the hell?
Oh wow!
Exactly.
I'll talk to Arlo a bit about that. See what we can do about getting them on here. That'd be cool. Let me go through. Did you guys see the Nintendo? We have Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. Microsoft is still like shrouded in mystery when it comes to their financial stuff.
Oh, gee, I wonder why.
but they did say that they were actually up, and a lot of it had to do with Game Pass and their subscription services. They said that they were up. I believe it was over 30%. They were up from last year's quarter. But then they were also their hardware sales fell 19% over the same quarter, because that was, of course, the launch of the Xbox One X, and they were $500 systems were actually moving along pretty well, whereas now they've dropped prices throughout the holiday and everything. So that makes sense. And we're getting towards the end of the generation. Like even like pretty much all consoles are dropping compared to where they were. So
yeah, that's for sure.
But they at least said that their services are rolling along, and they said they're going to start having some actual testing for their xCloud stuff this year, public testing. So they said that as well. Unfortunately, there's no real hard numbers, just percentages. And hey, we made a bunch of money. They said they made $4.23 billion in revenue from its gaming business.
Jesus.
So,
cool.
but that's not, they didn't say profit or anything. They just said, oh yeah, we made this much. Unfortunately, they didn't really tell us much.
Yeah.
But Nintendo did. And Nintendo, they had an interesting one. So this was a weird situation. And I saw Nate tweet about it. Okay. Nate had a lot to say actually about this situation because their stocks fell despite tremendous amounts of profit and ridiculous software sales. But Nate, why did their stock fall exactly?
Because investors care about money and they don't really care about actual results.
Well, they care about forecasts, right?
Yeah.
That's like the biggest thing. They're like, oh, what are you selling? What are you selling this quarter coming up?
Yeah.
And they did lower it from 20 to 17. But they still sold, I think it was like what, 9.5 million systems sold.
Yeah, 9.5 million in the quarter, just quarter three.
9.41.
Yeah. So it was a lot. They're now at 32.27 million units. I can tell you the Xbox One right now is coming up on 42 million units. So it's less than 10 million units behind the Xbox One already.
Dang.
Yeah.
That legit. So I didn't know that specific number until I saw your video, Spawn Wave, and I literally ran into my living room to talk to my roommates about it because it was just crazy that they sold 32 million consoles that quick.
Yeah, it's moved fast. There was a chart that went up because they're not even finished their second year yet. That's going to be at the end of March. And there were some comparisons. I think the only system that is selling faster than the Switch, if you line up like the amount of months they've been on the market, is the Wii. Otherwise, all home consoles, even like the PlayStation 4 is right behind it as well. So it's interesting to see that. Now, we're pretty sure that this quarter that we're in now is not going to be great. That's the reason that they lowered their expectations down. But we think they're going to sell, 18 million almost? Maybe 17 and a half?
It's weird because they forecast to 17 million. They're at, what are they at? 14
and a half?
Yeah,
8, 14. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll save that. Last quarter four, they shipped 2.9 million.
Yes.
So even if they're flat on that, they would still ship 17.5 million Switches, which would be over their forecast.
Yeah.
So realistically, they should be over it because Japan, they're already like 120,000, 150,000 above where they were last year, just in the month of January. And with New Super Mario Brothers Deluxe, they've probably had strong January sales in North America, and they've had it in Europe.
Yep.
So they're probably going to ship over 3 million. So realistically, they're probably actually going to ship 18 million for this fiscal year. So they'll do a million over their forecast.
Yeah, they're going to sneak Yoshi in there too right at the end as well.
I mean, that's probably not going to move hardware. That's
3 days, right? 29th, 30th, 31st, yeah.
Yeah, that's a game you buy because you have a Switch. You don't buy a Switch for Yoshi.
Although Kirby actually helped shift a lot more. Like the sales did go up at the very end when Kirby came out, which I didn't think it would, and it did. So I mean, Yoshi might be better than Kirby. So I guess I don't know.
Probably come out with a custom Switch, make everyone want to buy that one too.
And Smash is going to sell through January, obviously. So it'll be interesting to see. But I think they had to lower it now, right? Because they had great numbers otherwise, and they were like, all right, we'll lower it now, and that way we'll actually cross it. And everyone will be happy, at the end of this. I get that.
You lower it now because you're going to overperform once the fiscal year is over. And then they'll come out and say, oh, yeah, we forecasted 17. We ended up doing 17.5, 18 million. And then investors will pour more money back into into their stock. Stock will go up a little. Investors will be happy and all that nonsense. But people need to stop focusing on the stock prices for these companies.
They really do.
It doesn't matter. Oh, no, Nintendo went down $1. Oh no! Oh, guess what? Sony went down, even though they had a good financial report.
Yeah, that I was just
where's the
like,
outrage? Where's everyone saying, "Oh my God, Sony's doomed"? No, it doesn't
Sony
matter.
Sony made more money than, like, I remember your tweet, but also Sony made more money than like Microsoft and Nintendo like combined or something like that.
They're okay. So this is funny. We're going to talk about their network revenue. I'm talking just for the PlayStation Store was ridiculous. It was more than all of Nintendo and Microsoft's gaming revenue for the year.
And but their stock went down.
Yeah. Yep, because they're slowing down. It's hold on. It was it's because, all right, so believe it or not, that people are going to think this is crazy. Investors don't know what gaming is.
They don't.
No.
So what they do is they read headlines, right? And they make their judgment based on headlines, and they make their judgment based on what shows up in their inbox. So let me read a headline to you from Sony. This is from Reuters? Is that how you pronounce it? Reuters,
yeah.
Sony's profit disappoints as weaker games biz overshadows record result. That doesn't sound like a title you put in there if Sony is close to shipping 100 million units and has just posted network sales that eclipse both the Xbox and Nintendo sales combined.
Very bleak.
But you see what I'm saying? Like it's a weird thing to see. For example, Sony still shipped 8.1 million units in the quarter, that holiday quarter. This is what the system's 5th year or something. There's a lot of systems to ship in a quarter, and they're like, oh, but that dropped. It dropped 8.1 million units. That's the problem. That's why you see Activision freak out and say we only did $500 million worth of Call of Duty sales this week. It's doom, you know. It's like, oh my gosh. That's because they know that they're going to get yelled at by the investors. They didn't do as well as last year. And it's like, man, it's a shame. That's just the way it is, though. You know,
it's the money business, and I feel like a lot of people don't understand that. Like when we look at it, the money business is just such giant numbers and so much nonsense. Like investors just are weirdos.
I also want to also point out a lot of their stocks go up a bit before these things post. People are hoping that they're going to buy into a company that's about to post ridiculous numbers everywhere. And when they're more normal numbers, they're like, and they back out. So that's why you see Sony's drop, even though they do well. And you see Nintendo's drop, even though, while they lowered expectations, they still made a ton of money. And we didn't even talk about, so yes, Sony is coming up on 100 million as well. Consoles, while we're talking about the consoles, it is at just over 94 now. So they're less than 6 million units away from that 100 million mark already. Yes. So they're moving along pretty well. We heard that Spider-Man, this was already prior to this, we heard that Spider-Man shipped 9 million copies. It's good. Good for Spider-Man. And overall, Sony is rolling. But they marked that they are kind of, sloping downwards, and it's towards the end of the generation. So I get it. Which does mean that the PS5 will show up. It's coming sooner than probably later, I'd say. I mean, I want to think we'll see it this year. Towards the end,
I feel like PSX would be a good time to reveal it.
Yeah, this year. Not that it's coming out, obviously, but to be like, PS5, here's some initial specs and stuff, and
So the big leaks that I've read that I 100% believe are that they're going to be done a year. They're not going to be anywhere, and then at PSX, I think they're going to do a full console reveal. I think they'll even show us the physical console and a controller and everything, and then some games.
Yeah, I liked it when in 2013 when the consoles were revealed like the year of them coming out. I thought that was just a perfect time to do it.
Yeah, but I remember they showed the Scorpio like a year and a half before it came out.
Yeah, really though.
Oh man, it's interesting though with that. So I think we'll see him though. I just think it's more or less that when the numbers start declining for the console sales, and we're this far in, it might be time. What do you think what number do you think the PS4 fizzles out at? You think it'll hit 120 million?
Yes, 100%, 120 million.
120%.
Yeah, I can see that. I think it'll get there.
That's tough to predict because like the PS2 saw a lot of growth after the PS3 launched because there were the other regions where the PS2 saw a lot of success, especially when the price came down. PS4 is already in these countries, and it's going to come down to the price drop, and then ultimately it's going to come down to how the PS5 launches, what type of backwards compatibility it has. If it just completely replaces the PS4, and you could play, all the way back to PS1 games, like the patent implies, you might have less of an incentive to buy a PlayStation 4. And if Sony doesn't do like a drastic price drop, I remember PS2 got down to like $99.
Yeah, it was cheap. Yep.
PS3 got down to what, $199? So if the PS4 doesn't come down to like $150, like $150 or so, I don't know if you see like that long-term dragged out sales after the introduction to the PS5.
The biggest reason I think it will keep selling is something I think hurt the PlayStation 3. When the PlayStation 4 came out, the UI was so streamlined. The store was finally fixed. It made a lot of Sony gamers wanted to jump over to PlayStation 4 just because it was finally easy to shop with. The PlayStation 5 is probably going to look like the storefront is probably going to be identical to PlayStation 4. So I think people will keep picking up the PS4, especially if it gets down to $150.
Okay. It'll be interesting to see. Let's talk about some of the big sellers for the Switch as well before we move on here to the last topic, which is Titanfall. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the best-selling Switch game currently at just over 15 million copies.
Not surprising.
That is Mario.
God is dead.
That's a game from the Wii U.
What's that?
It's amazing. Yeah, what's the Wii U?
Yeah,
what was that?
But Mario Kart is like timeless, man. Everybody
Yeah,
can pick up Mario Kart. It's like such a great game.
Everybody plays
Drunk Mario Kart is the best.
Everybody plays Mario Kart. Super Mario Odyssey, 13.76 million copies sold.
Ooh, very good.
It's a good game. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's good to see. It's interesting just to see Mario Kart 8, which seems to just keep selling all the time. Super Mario Odyssey slowed down a bit, but Mario Kart 8 keeps on trucking. And Smash Bros. Ultimate. So before I read this number, I need to just keep this in mind. These are the sales from about 3.5 weeks, I'd say, in December. Yeah, 3.5 weeks. 12.08 million copies.
That's crazy.
That is nuts, dude.
Yeah,
for a
Mario
fighting
Kart
game, that
ain't
is
staying
insane.
on top for long.
That is a lot of it's a lot of Smash Bros. To move. That is insane.
In a very short amount of time too. Like Mario Kart has been out for it's over a year, right?
It came out the month after the Switch released.
Yeah.
It's been almost 2 years.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's a lot. That's a lot of Smash Ultimate. I'm gonna be curious what the second month sales would be, or I guess the next quarter. But like that might run into 20 million very quickly.
Probably.
I think once they add, like once the Fighters Pass is done and they get all the Fighters Pass in there, that's really when you're going to see like, okay, then like it's really just going to start piling on, because when Joker comes out, that's going to be a whole nother audience.
Yeah.
Yo, Joker's coming, and like people are going crazy, like Plant Gang, people are already going crazy kind of like about that. Like,
dude, if Joker launches, that's a good point, because that means that you'll see some Persona people start to want to get into it. And that's, again, if maybe there's a rumor, that some kind of Persona game would go to the Switch, if that launches alongside of it or in that around it, then you'd see some people come over.
I'm hearing Joker's dope in the game. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
I'm hearing he's freaking dope. So
Breath of the Wild is 11.68 million copies. Good to see. That's that's the best selling Zelda game on one platform, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Without like re-releases, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then this one surprised a lot of people. It's Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, 10 million copies.
That's
people told me I was wrong for saying don't doubt it, but okay.
Yeah, it's Pokemon. Now here's my question: we got Gen 8 coming out this year. Well, towards the end of the year, is Gen 8 gonna? What's Gen 8 going to do? Because if there was a lot of division. There was a lot of division and obviously around this, but
I would say 50% more sales at minimum.
Yeah. Okay. So you think
agree.
it's going to smash 15 million very quickly then?
Absolutely.
Yeah. If it's good, which we're all thinking that it's going to be.
It's Pokemon. A mainline Pokemon.
Yeah. You can look at Let's Go in Japan. It didn't do what a mainline Pokemon would do. Mainline Pokemon should be doing 2-3 million in Japan. Let's Go did what, like
it
1.
fell off.
5?
Yeah, it fell off pretty quick. Yeah.
Let's Go had success in the Western market. Gen 8's going to have worldwide success, so 15-18 million easily.
Very quickly, yeah, like in its first quarter, in that holiday quarter, because that thing's coming out in like October, November, somewhere in there.
It's going to be pretty nuts.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Just a few more. Splatoon 2, 8.27 million. Super Mario Party, which by the way, this is the first quarter it's been out. It's come out in October. Over 5 million copies of that.
Still no updates.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mario Party.
Oh man,
that game really had a great holiday because it sold 1 million in its first month in October. So it sold 4 million from November, December. It sold 4 million. It sold 4 million more copies in those 2 months.
All right, Nintendo.
A lot of parents.
The sales are there, Nintendo. So update it, please.
Is that online, please?
Just do something with it.
More boards,
man.
more like better on like being able to play more than like mini games.
A real. Can I get real online? Can I get on a board with some friends?
Oh man, that's a number that some games would kill to have. Thanks to Miguel Melendez. Thanks for joining as a member. We appreciate it. There are some emotes there that Evan made up that are pretty cool. You can check out. Yeah, no, I mean, there are some companies that would love to have 5 million in sales, and I feel like they're like something like Super Mario Party getting it, and they're just like, yeah, it's cool. It's like, oh man, do something with that game. Like, come on.
Really though.
Come on.
Nintendo's like thinking like, what more do you want from us? You guys wanted online play, we added it. Shut up. Shut up.
Play the mini games.
Look how many Mario parties there's been. This is the first one with online play.
Oh man. Good numbers there. I think all the companies did pretty well. I mean, Microsoft wants services and their services are up, and PlayStation keeps rolling along. Nintendo is doing well. Yeah, things are good. Life
is good.
Yes, game companies are doing well. So, let's finish up with Titanfall before I do some super. Evan, we have a Discord question we can go through.
Got a bunch of them.
We have to go through them, because it's getting up to 11 soon. So.
Yeah, I guess real quick, would you rather have an N64 Classic or have N64 games on the Nintendo Online?
I want an N64 Classic.
Really?
I want to collect it. Yeah, I want to collect it. I want to have one. I already collected the NES Classic, the Super Nintendo Classic. I want to put the N64 Classic up there. Also, I can take it apart and make a video out of that.
True.
I'd
prefer them on my Switch.
Same. I want to be able to play them online.
Would you pay more? Would you pay more for that?
Yes.
For the online service?
Yes, like if it was a Game Pass thing separate from Nintendo's online service.
I mean, in all, like it'd have to be a very small amount more.
$10
more
a month. $10
a month.
Yeah.
Jesus.
No.
Yeah.
There's not enough games on the 64 to warrant that. In my opinion.
$10 a month. It has Super Nintendo, N64, and GameCube games in there.
Oof.
Yeah, I mean, if you add all that in there, then
Okay, there you go.
Whichever one,
64, probably not.
Whichever one gives me my Chameleon Twist games, that's the one I'll go with.
Getting your
Chameleon Twist.
They need to come back. We're overdue. That's the secret IP from Nintendo, the one they said's charming. Chameleon Twist 3. Chameleon Twist 3 confirmed.
Oh man,
Christian. I mean, the only reason I don't care about having an N64. The only reason I don't care about having an N64 Classic is because me personally, I have so many 64 games physically. So like me having the Classic, it's no different than me having it on a Switch because I still have my physical carts. Like I have drawers full of these things. So that's just my standpoint on it. I get where you're coming from when it comes to like wanting to collect it because you've already got the regular NES, you've got the Super Nintendo, 64. I don't know. I'm kind of torn in between. I'm on the fence.
Yeah. Well, I just watched the Wii shop closed. So when the service closes for like the Switch, I'll be like,
but I still got my cards
20, 30 years from now, you know.
I guess having an HD really, you make a good point because the HD would,
How about both? How about we just do both? Let's do that.
Right, yeah.
Have a run of the N64 Classic, discontinue it, and then put it on the Switch.
Can never have too many options.
There you go.
Or what I've always wanted, which is sell me the NES Classic or SNES Classic, but when you buy it, you get an eShop code that automatically puts those games on your Switch too.
Ooh, that's a good idea. That'd be cool.
Boy,
that is a good point.
I think someone at Nintendo Life came up with that.
I would like that.
Nintendo's like, what, you think you're gonna give us this away for free?
I know, right?
It's like, cool story, bro. I would love that.
It's a good idea.
I didn't
say they would do it. I'm just saying.
We just know how to Nintendo it.
I'm just clowning Nintendo because I don't think Nintendo's gonna do that. I'm not clowning you. That idea is great.
But benefit consumers, get out of here. What's another Discord question?
Do you guys think Lego Universe should be brought back by Lego Games? I know there is Dark Flame, but an official reboot would be cool.
Lego Universe?
No idea.
No idea what that is.
Do they mean Lego Dimensions?
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Another thing, right? It's like Minecraft.
Is it?
I'm done with the toys to life stuff.
No, this was separate. This was like Minecraft. I'm 99% sure. Lego Universe.
I thought Lego
and
World
people-
was like Minecraft.
Yeah, Lego Worlds is one.
So Lego Universe was an MMO like Minecraft. People loved it for a short time.
Yeah, I see it.
I saw some great videos on it, but I never got it.
Oh, it closed in 2012, like early 2012. Wow, I don't know. What was it? Was that just PC? Was that just on the? It is. Yeah. Oh no.
I remember.
Yeah, Windows. Yep. Windows. No, and Mac OS.
I remember selling the little prepaid cards at GameStop for this. It's totally
You know what? Just for you, I hope they bring it back. There you go.
Just for you.
Bring it back.
It says 98% like this video game for Google users.
Jesus.
Them Google users. They got taste.
Both of them are thrilled.
What's the next Discord question, Evan?
After so many out of direct announcements, do you think Nintendo might be done with directs entirely?
Absolutely not.
No.
They'll still have one at some point. But
January.
That's an interesting topic. Not saying they're done with direct, but I can't see Nintendo moving away from those in the future.
Do you think, and this is a question sort of for the whole panel, do y'all think that there was supposed to be one in January that was going to be a big direct and they scrapped it for some reason, and that's why we just got those weird the Twitter direct, as Nate said?
Yes.
Yeah, you think it scrapped an official one?
The announcements were too scattered. They seemed too high production for what they were, and there were just certain things that came out that I was hearing were supposed to be in a January direct, and they just kind of suddenly dropped in press releases or on Twitter, and I kind of sat there like, wait a minute, something's wrong here.
You think it's Metroid?
I don't think Metroid really had anything to do with it.
Okay.
I think it was just something else.
That Metroid thing felt like a scramble, man. Felt like they were just like scrambling with that.
The Final Fantasy, I'd heard for a fact that the Final Fantasy was going to be shown in a direct. That's why I was so blown away when it just showed up on Twitter. I was like, I'm happy, but what?
It is interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of people obviously want to direct, but who knows?
I mean, maybe it was just, we speculated and people kept saying it was happening, and Nintendo was just sitting there like, yeah, you think so? Too bad. We just cut it.
What happened to Gaming Intel's prediction there, man?
Well, I think they took that down.
What? They took it down.
But you see, the topic of the direct is actually a rant I've been thinking of doing. So, see, people, I might do a topic where you can hear me talk.
Rants.
But I'll actually rant about Nintendo Direct.
This should just be the video too, just your picture in the middle with like a pulsating gray behind it as you talk.
It might be actually like my hand giving like a direct the middle finger. But I might rant about it.
You could just do some gameplay of a game that's coming out or something.
Or
people
a sock puppet. People love sock puppets.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I'll get like a director's thing, and I'll just move it as like a mouse.
Yeah, you should do that. That'd be interesting. I'd be interested to see your direct take on that. What's another Discord question, Evan? Or you got them all? Or
with numbers revealed Nintendo's financial this week, we already went over that technically for that number thing. I mean, was anything really a big surprise from the Nintendo numbers that they revealed?
I guess I was surprised that. I know people are going to say they expected Smash to sell so much, but to hear that it was 12 million in 3.5 weeks surprised me a bit. Yeah,
that blows my mind.
That surprised me a bit. When we were doing our predictions for it, a lot of us were saying 10 million. I don't know if anyone said 12. We go back and listen to it. Yeah, like a lot of us were like, 10 million, 7 million. Like here, 12 million in 3.5. That surprised me a bit. I'll say that. Everything else, though, I guess Mario Kart, maybe its selling power continues to surprise me, but not really anything else. I guess maybe Mario Party over 5 million. Yeah, Smash is the one that was like everyone when Smash came out, people were like the number for that. People were like, wow, okay.
That was fast, yeah.
I'll say it was that. I'll say that one. Yeah, that was the one. Although I think Labo's over 1 million, right? Like 1.5 million or something. So
Toy-Con 1, just particularly that one is over 1 million.
There you go. Is that all the Discord questions, Evan?
Do you think it would be possible for the Nintendo to give the Switch Mini or Lite an additional support for 3DS games?
No.
That'd be tough. That would be tough to put 3DS games in there.
There was that patent a while ago, Fusion. Y'all remember the Fusion patent? It was going to be a dock that you like. It had slots on the top and the bottom. I think that they probably experimented with it and just went, screw it.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually what happens when we see a patent. We figure that they played around with something in their, in the R&D department, and they're just like, and they kind of threw it out. But I don't know what they'll do with 3D. I mean, eventually it'll be legacy, and they'll maybe move it to like a virtual console or something, or put it in a service. But I don't know. I don't think you'll ever have a cartridge slot on that or anything like that to play them. Is that all the?
The last one's just the question about the performance of Kingdom Hearts 3 on the Xbox One X.
It plays well for me. It looks good, but I do know Digital Foundry did an entire thing on it, and the Xbox One X version does seem to keep 60 frames more than the other versions, it seems. But it does also seem that there's some optimization issues in this game.
Apparently, the PS4 Pro version, when you're playing in the 1080p mode, has the best frame rate and from all that. But I think I know I think that it's extreme nitpicking on this video, and I usually don't care about it, but this one seems like if you play it, you're not going to notice like there's an irregular frame at this point when you're playing the battle system. Just to me with their analysis on this one in particular.
Don't you remember when Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U went down to 59.8 frames? And it was an out. People were like, whoa.
I just don't think with this game, with all the stuff that's kind of going on, I don't know. This one, like I said, I normally don't care, but it just seemed like I watched the whole Digital Foundry thing with Kingdom Hearts. But if you play it, it's gonna feel like it's 60. You're not gonna be, it's 55 at this point when I'm hitting this toy monster or whatever, or I'm going through with Goofy. It's not, I don't think
I think
like that.
I think it moves a bit too quick for you to really focus on any one thing for too long. So I get what you're saying. Yeah, but it looks good on the Xbox One X. I haven't played the PS4 version, but I mean, visually in general, the game looks great. I still have to play more though. I'm only a couple hours in, so I'll have more to talk about, I guess, next week when I play more of it. But so far, so good. So, Empath says, how much does a base PS4 cost to make? Probably not much. Honestly, they're probably getting to the point where out of all the components in the thing, the controller is probably becoming the most expensive part out of like components like CPU and power supplies and everything. If they're selling it for $200, I can't imagine it costs more than like $150 to $160 to put that entire bundle together. And that's with shipping and manufacturing and everything. So they're actually probably making some money on those systems now. Second 10 says Gen 8 based in UK according to rumors.
That's what I'm hearing. Crown and Scepter are the rumored names.
Uh-oh. Interesting.
Yikes.
I have a video on that on Commonwealth Realm, which you guys should check out. Although I didn't make it, Conrad did because he's the European. So
okay. Okay. Miguel says, hi, Spawn. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I will. And then I said, Miguel said, please bring in other SNES games. I assume that's for like the Switch service. I'm thinking because we do know that there are Super Nintendo games ready to roll basically now, like in there. So I don't know if they're gonna do them. I guess eventually they'll unleash them, and we'll see. Steven says, do you guys have any Banjo info to share? I do not. I would like Banjo because it would come back, but I haven't heard anything about that. Not since that Grinch leak.
Maybe they just wanted info on maybe they're thinking about buying a real banjo, and if you got anyone own a banjo, anyone know how to play?
The Grinch leak, dude.
I live in the South, but there's not actually that many banjos.
Hey man, people will pick on Nate at times for having something wrong, but then everyone forgets about that Grinch leak and that epic rant.
Well, no, they were getting on you too.
They were
getting on everybody. I was like, I'm taking the middle.
I was like,
I'm pleading the fifth.
No, the issue was we knew it was incorrect. The Grinch. We're trying to help them, and we're like,
I knew it was incorrect, but I was like, these guys were acting crazy, man. They're out here trying to make conspiracy theories about you and Andre. There was one about you and Andre in particular, John. I don't know if you saw that one.
Oh, was it that I was getting paid money from Nintendo?
Yeah, both of you guys were, going. I didn't I should have screen capped it what these people were saying. But yeah, that you guys were going behind their back, and you and Andre in particular were collaborating with Nintendo and getting money to say certain things.
Wow.
These people have no idea how anything works.
Listen, I'll tell you that the honest truth. I have a hard time getting Nintendo to send me a game on release day.
We get them the day before tops. It's such
You're definitely
bullshit.
not paying me any money.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, they just started throwing out all of you guys' names. Heck, my name got thrown out. I was like, bro, I didn't even say. Like, what the hell?
Oh man,
thrown around. So,
man, and then Nate was like, like Nate, you had to when that actually ended that direct. Dude, you were like Vince McMahon walking down the ramp, man.
Yeah, that was something.
Oh my gosh.
Good times.
They had
Good
no
times.
chance in hell.
No chance in hell.
Let me quickly finish up here. We did all the super chats and everything. Titanfall, Battle Royale, Apex Heroes, Monday.
This Monday. Wow.
Monday, yeah, 2 days from now, a day and a half actually, I guess. It's apparently influencers know about it. So Dr. Disrespect, Shroud, a few others are just talking about it, I guess, at this point. And then
Apex Heroes.
Isn't that what
just
they're
the
calling
title. They made it.
Yeah.
I thought it was
supposedly.
Apex Legends.
Legends. Okay, I was thinking Battlefield Heroes. Apex Legends. There you go. Apex Legends, and apparently they're just going to reveal it on Monday and release it. Free to play. I think PC and Xbox is the rumor, possibly PS4.
Mad microtransactions and a rumor of no summonable Titans.
Yeah, no Titans. No Titans. Yep, they're going to focus on the gunplay and I guess the ground combat.
Oh, so the thing that Titanfall is not really the main thing that they're marketing in general.
It's apparently it's like in that universe, but it doesn't have the Titans in it. It's going to be teams of 3.
So you can't call it Titanfall.
60 player free for all, but not teams of 3 technically. Everyone versus each other.
That's so weird.
EA. Okay, just all right.
But be free to play. It'll be interesting at least to try it and see what we think.
Yeah, exactly. But man, I loved Titanfall 2 so much. Do you still think Titanfall 3 is happening? Because I thought I read something where they said like they just decided to go with this Battle Royale game not even do it.
Titanfall 3.
I think Titanfall 3 is still happening because this is going to be on this will be on the Source engine. I don't think they're going to reuse the Source engine for Titanfall 3.
It depends on how many one-time summons you can sell in this game of Titans that you can call down. So like,
apparently it's going to be all cosmetic stuff similar to like Overwatch. Apparently, is the idea.
I think 100%. I think that this. So I played a lot of Titanfall 2. I dig it a lot. I think the gunplay is great. I think that this is going to be their experiment. If 1 million people download this the first week, I think we'll get a Titanfall 3. I legit think that.
Like you're going to see like Dr. Disrespect, everyone's going to be playing it basically the day it comes out. You know, they
for sure.
Yeah, it should be good technically for marketing's sake, because the problem with the original Titanfalls was that it always came out next to something that just crapped on it.
Oh my gosh, it came out between what, Call of Duty and Battlefield one year?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was over.
Well, and
it was the best game of the 3.
This is coming out right before Anthem.
Yeah. This one's free. This one's free though.
This one's free though. Yeah.
It's like all right.
Why do they always throw Titanfall in between their major releases?
Because EA says this is a good game. We don't want people to buy it. So
I just hope Titanfall 3 they actually treat it with like the respect and put it as like their big game for the holiday or something.
That's asking for a lot.
Yeah, no.
Right.
That would be cool. That'd be cool. It'll be at least interesting to try. What did you think about it, Nate? Because you were telling me you're like, it might actually be okay, but you were kind of talking about it a bit before I had even heard it much about it.
Yeah, I don't know exactly gameplay how it will play out beyond what's already kind of being discussed out there. I mean, if Titanfall's ground game was fine, even without the Titans.
Yes.
So if it is still that core gameplay, and let's just say you remove like the wall running, it would still be a solid, first-person shooter. And now with the Battle Royale aspect to it, I could see it actually performing quite well. I mean, it's not going to take the Fortnite audience over or anything, but it's definitely it will eat into the Call of Duty Blackout audience probably a decent bit. And if the gameplay is solid and you don't need to spend a lot on cosmetics or anything like that, and you can truly play free, and you still have access to the standard guns and whatnot without actually dropping a cent, it can probably form a pretty active community.
Yeah, and with 60 players, I mean, if they get a good bit of maps to choose from as well, like most Battle Royale games are stuck in that one map situation, and only I think PUBG has moved finally to their third map recently. But if Titanfall has thematically multiple maps that are already coming with it day one, I mean, it could put it ahead of some people even.
I think the 60 players could actually... Go ahead, Max.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm lagging a little bit. So if I'm accidentally talking over anybody, I promise it's not intentional. But the biggest thing about Titanfall 2 is that the play is very, very deep. So I have a feeling that this is going to cultivate a super hardcore Battle Royale audience.
Okay. It could be cool. I think 60 players will help to make maybe the matches a bit more focused, and they won't have to try to fit 100 people on a new map and try to figure out how the map will, I guess, accommodate that. So I'm interested to see what they can do. It's free. I'll try it. If it's bad, I'll just move on. So it's not like we have to buy it technically to try it out. Apparently PC, Xbox, maybe PS4. I've heard PC and Xbox definitely.
I'm pretty sure it's PS4 too.
I don't know why they wouldn't have it on PS4, right? Unless Microsoft was like, hey, let me.
I think the only thing isn't Switch. Which shocking, an EA game not on Switch?
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
No way. An EA game that's not FIFA? What?
They did say 60 frames at least on consoles, and probably, I mean, it's Source Engine. It'll probably be easy to do hundreds of frames on the PC. So.
Oh yeah, totally.
There you go. Pretty cool. We'll see Monday though, so look out for it Monday. It's out there now, so cool. That's gonna do it for SpawnCast tonight though. Let me go around the list here. Rax, where can they find you, man?
You can find me at youtube.com/Rex the Great. I'll put it in the chat here. If you guys like any, gaming style videos, live streams, comedy stuff, make sure to check it out. Any support would be appreciated. Smaller channel, so
yes, go check out Rax. Go check him out. And then OJ, where can they find you, man?
Yeah, just find me right here on YouTube. I do mainly Nintendo news, Japanese gaming, action, RPGs, Devil May Cry, all that stuff. A lot of Smash Brothers. So if you want to get better at Smash Brothers, I do a lot of live streams and I do a lot of tutorials, or I'm going to start doing more tutorials and stuff on Smash Brothers. So yeah, I cover all that. And yeah, we're doing another Smash Brothers giveaway. So let's go ahead and add on to that 12 million number, huh? So, so yeah, we're doing another Smash Brothers giveaway coming up. So check out the channel right here, Player Essence.
Okay, and then Joey, thanks for joining us. Where can they find you, man?
All right, you can find me on Commonwealth Realm, where we talk about Nintendo stuff. But I also am bringing back my other channel, which got me the job at Commonwealth Realm, Festival Productions. I'm putting that in the chat right now. Hopefully that link works. But yeah, I talk about games and stuff there. I like to do comedic sketches, and I'm starting to do like talking to the camera, casual stuff. But I like doing the sketches more. So check that out.
Okay, very good. Then Nate, what about you, man?
Find me on Twitter at DirectFeedGames. There's a link to my YouTube channel on my Twitter account where I bring direct feed footage of games. I do not do commentary, despite
yet.
But maybe I will, depending feedback, so people can yell at me, and I will eventually have discussion videos.
I think people would like to see you do discussion videos. I think so. And let me get the Dreamcast guy before he lags out. Where can they find him, man?
Thank you. Yeah, youtube.com/Dreamcast guy. I got a big video going up on Monday about Crackdown 3 and probably Titanfall. I'm going to check out that Titanfall Battle Royale for sure.
I didn't have any plans for a raid, but if somebody has someone to raid,
I do have someone.
Okay,
you guys all need to go raid this person that I'm putting in the chat.
Okay, go raid this person.
Mandy Lee Place.
Okay.
Oh yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, go raid Mandy Lee. Say hi. Say SpawnCast sent you. Hit the like button and everything. And Jordan, what about you, man? Because you're working on some serious stuff in the lab over there.
I'm trying to. I'm cooking some stuff up. I'm working on documentaries. And I have some cool ideas beyond just the gaming stuff that I'm doing, and something I have to talk with you about later, John, that I think you can be pretty interested in documentary-wise. But sub to my channel if you want some cool documentaries. I'm trying to have this first major one out on February 13th. So that's what I'm aiming for. I'm working really hard on making something I'm proud of. So yeah, thanks for having me on.
Okay,
awesome
okay.
Channel.
And then Evan's on Twitter. So
yeah, just Kimrick's project. This month I'm going to be trying to do a lot of artwork in preparation for conventions. Like I just finished those 2 days ago. But yeah, just follow that and I'll post up what I'm doing.
Cool. Okay, very good. That's going to do it here for SpawnCast episode 96. Make sure you go raid Manny Lee Plays at the link there. And we'll see you guys next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see you guys then.